Jackson made it pretty interesting. Oh, come on.
Oh, we're online. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to court. Before we open up, go into session, I'm going to ask Chris Wilcott, will you lead us in prayer?
Lord, thank you for this day that you've given us. Lord, thank you for this rain, and just, Lord, thank you for these court members and citizens that have come to watch over and conduct the business of our county. Lord, be with all of our elected officials and give them wisdom and as we go forward with decisions that are made. And Lord, just be with our community, those that are dealing with sickness and dealing with problems, Lord, those that have been in accidents, Lord, we lift them up especially, Lord, that help them in their recovery. Lord, just we just want to thank you for the way you bless us each and every day, but we take it for granted. Lord, just be with us and guide us and protect Logan County and all of our citizens. All these things, that's your name. Amen.
Amen. Let's open up. Let's say pledge allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Once again, thank everyone for being here. Let's start by asking for a motion to approve the minutes, please.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second on the minutes. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin. Yes. Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up, we have a representative from LEAD to discuss the approval of the RDAAP authorizing the designation of SPGE resolution designating the Logan IDA as a recipient of TVA funds under the Regional Development Agency Assistance Program. I've got more. They will also discuss with fiscal court requesting the Auburn Hosiery Mill recapture fund and interest, and it be transferred to the Logan IDA to help offset the cost of road extension in West Industrial Park. Hi, Brooke. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. I think you've already summed up why I'm here, I believe.
I didn't mean to steal your glory.
No, that's quite all right. First off, I believe you have a resolution in front of you, and this is just a resolution that would authorize the IDA to receive TVA funds from the RDAP assistance program. We use these funds, I think this is the 6th year that we've done this process, use these funds to pay off debt services that we're doing upgrades in West Industrial Park. So this is just a resolution so that we can receive those funds and file the grant application. And we'd also ask that the court authorize Judge Baker to sign the scope and budget form that's also attached to the back of this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
No, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the recaptured funds from the hosiery mill.
That's a different one, but yes, ma'am.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Wait for that one.
All right.
All right, we all good? All right. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. And then the second part of my request today is about the Auburn Hosiery Mill recaptured funds. This is something that I came to the court over several months ago. The court approved us using the Auburn Hosiery Mill recaptured funds plus the interest to help cover some of the costs on the roadway that we're completing into West Industrial Park off the 6880. And today I'm just asking that we transfer those funds to the IDA. That road work is underway and in progress and nearing completion, and so we're going to have to start making payments to that project. So I'm just requesting that the funds be transferred.
Can I ask the amount you're talking about?
You can. It's about $96,000, I think. Is it more than that now? The interest, we've left it so the interest could keep growing, but sorry.
That number. It's $100,600
$16.68.
And this money was never considered a part of Auburn.
Of Auburn?
Yeah, Auburn City was
No,
never supposed to.
this
get it.
was an economic development fund money that went to Auburn Hosiery Mill. We were captured some of those funds because they didn't fulfill their commitment to earn all those dollars.
Well, I hope you don't mind my asking, but I'm gonna get asked.
That's a great.
So I need to
No,
understand.
it was
why
economic
it's going to
development money.
West Industrial Park
Sure.
coming out of the eastern section of our county.
Absolutely. No, it was it was economic development funds. It was to be supportive of that industry, but they didn't fulfill their commitment, so it went back to economic
Not fulfill
development.
their commitment means not stay there for the amount of time.
I believe that is correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That was the commitment.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say, I think it was 10 years they had to commit to so many number of employees for, I
Correct.
think the time was 10 years. That's been a long time. It's before I was on board. And they didn't
They
stay
couldn't fulfill that.
the
They
10
went under
years.
before that.
And so they had to pay that back, and those funds come back
Came
to the
from
county.
the county.
And we
Okay.
have to hold them, and we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
only use them for certain things. I think we tapped maybe a few dollars once before, didn't we, Amanda?
Maybe, those have been on the books ever since I started working here, and I've been here 25 years.
Yeah, I think we drew a few dollars out for, I may be getting that mixed up with another situation, but anyhow, you can only use it for certain things, you have to get it approved by
So the
state.
development of the industrial park is in that category.
It does.
Qualifying event.
And the state has to approve what we use it for. They kind of monitored those funds the whole time they've been on the books, and I think it's a good time to get them off the books and use them for this project. So
Well,
that's-
I'm gonna be asked those questions.
No, absolutely.
And so if I have a concise answer, it's just gonna
Sure.
help me. So thank you very much.
Yes,
Both of
ma'am.
you, all three of you.
And those funds for that road that we're talking about, it doesn't complete the road all the way through the park, but it completes the phase, or it's gonna be going towards the second phase of that road. We've done one phase, now we're doing a second phase that's gonna serve.
For the industrial park.
Right,
Yes.
which is actually gonna serve an industry that's gonna locate there hopefully soon. And then there'll be about, maybe a little over 50% when we
Yes,
get that done.
absolutely.
And then there'll be another little section that we gotta do.
We're working towards that as well. Yes,
Thank you for
ma'am.
that clarification.
Yes, ma'am.
Lead at 98 is making big strides to make this successful, and it's coming along very nice.
Thank you. It is.
All right, do we have a,
Motion,
I need a motion.
motion to approve the transfer of these funds to IDA.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further questions? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Brooke.
Brooke?
Next up is a approval of bills and supplement. I don't think there's a supplement bill list this time, so just the bill list.
Motion to approve the bill list as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Give me 1 second. I apologize, I didn't get the bill list, so I haven't reviewed it, but I got some questions because we're at 800,000.
Go to the bottom page.
Bottom page.
A lot of it is ARPA,
Yes.
loan for any round.
Yes, a penny route payout of 500 and,
71,000.
yes, thank you.
And then we had a
And then we had 2 big refunds,
KBI incentive.
yeah.
Right.
So those KBI incentives, do we hold those until requested? How do those incentives go out?
So Carol handles all of those. And,
She usually holds them
So
till,
the payroll tax is collected
Right.
into, well, that wouldn't be
2 years.
payroll tax. KBI, it's not payroll tax. Sue Carroll doesn't. It's the county's portion of the payroll tax. Yeah.
It's
sorry.
2 years
Just
worth.
just give me a second. What'd you
It
say?
says 2 years worth too. It says 2022 and 2023.
so those are some of the big ticket items that are on the bill.
So that's 671,000. So that puts it back to a normal dollar amount. Okay, I'm sorry, I just
No,
didn't have, I didn't have a chance to review it yesterday.
Nope, you should always know everything's clear.
All right, is there any further questions? If no further questions, I'm going to ask for a roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Good.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes. Next up is your treasurer's report.
Okay, I do have a stack for you this morning, so bear with me here. The first thing that we need to get approved is the financial statement ending 3/31/2024, along with the finance officer's appropriation condition report, the list of outstanding encumbrances, and the third-party financial statement for the Public Properties Corporation. As of March 31st, 2024, the balance in the general fund was $1,075,564.48. Road fund, $801,691.38. Jail fund, $151,235.12. LGEA, $29,323.23. Federal grants fund, $54.68. Solid waste recycling, $435,464.76. Parks and Rec Fund, $1,641,374.46. Occupational tax, $5,921,671.18. Life skills, $158,865.23. 911 Fund, $248,519.14. Health Insurance Fund, $540,453.82. County Clerk Storage Fees, $73,205.30. ARPA Funds, $4,063,936.26. National Opioid Settlement Funds, $164,55.36. Special Reserve Funds, $4,345,698.01. For a total of all funds, $19,647,512.41.
so acknowledged.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes.
so Amanda, one question though, like on the special reserve account,
Yeah.
I know we made a deposit, was it last month? It's not, how come we don't see it?
It combines, because there's 3 different accounts within the special reserve fund. So it has to lump all of them together. And so that one looks a little funny on our financial statement because in the 9-5 fund, we have bank account 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. But all the others are a year-to-date rolling balance, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
What is the next thing on y'all's iPads?
Revenue conditions report?
We did that. The next thing I'm gonna go for is the budget amendment.
It's up to very few.
We're gonna have the second reading and adoption of a budget amendment. It's ordinance, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's ordinance number 024-22001. This is to amend in unbudgeted receipts that we have realized from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. This will increase revenue code 044510 state grants by $666,739. It'll increase revenue code 054510 state grants $1,101,400. LGEA fund 044510 state grants by $2 million. It'll also increase jail fund 034727 reimbursements miscellaneous by $40,746. Jail fund 034727 reimbursements miscellaneous by $44,018. General Fund 014733 insurance reimbursements by $6,649.08, and General Fund 014733 insurance reimbursements by $4,411, which will increase expenditure code 0150153440 sheriff maintenance vehicles by $6,649.08. 0450757727 KPDI grant City of Russellville lift station by $666,739. It'll increase expenditure code 0450757168 EDF grant West Industrial Park by $1,101,400. It'll increase expenditure code 0450757116B KPDI grant Shelton Lane site prep by $2 million. General Fund expenditure code 01508057 courthouse renewals and repairs by $4,411. 035101-717 jail fund law enforcement equipment by $40,746. Jail Fund 035101-717 jail law enforcement equipment by $44,018. The total budget amendment of $3,863,963.08.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
The next thing I need to have approved is the budget transfers for today.
Bless you.
Motion to approve budget transfers as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second by Curtis. Is there any discussion on this? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And I do have 3 cash transfers today. We need to transfer $130,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Jail Fund.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
We need to transfer $25,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the LGEA Fund.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And we need to transfer $45,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the 911 Fund.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And that's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Next up is roadwork request, District 1.
District 1, continue maintenance. Appreciate everything. Anyway.
District 2?
Y'all have been really working out there in my district, and I appreciate it very much. All the signs, the gravel that you did, the culvert work, and Sam Mason blacktop looks amazing. Looks great. Thank you.
Good deal. District 3?
Just continue maintenance. Thanks for the paving on the surface on the roads that we did last spring. I was going to ask about mowing, if that was when you anticipated that sort of.
Should be, it's kind of holding it back until they have to, probably be beginning of next month.
Okay, that's the one thing I figure I'll get asked about is mowing, so thank you.
All right, District 4?
District 4, 2785 T. McReynolds Road. We had put a tile in last summer and the ends are full of rock and mud, and if we can just get that cleaned out, might need to do just some slight ditching leading up towards it. The paving looks good, just continue maintenance, thank you.
All right, District 5.
This cold mix you've got on Cemetery, was that where it was caving in? Or is that a different place?
On
It
Cemetery,
says Cemetery Road, we've got a cold mix. Is that where the intersection of Van Houten was caving in, or is that something else?
that's something else right there.
Well, I did already speak to you about how that intersection of Van Houten and Cemetery is
And
caving
trees,
in.
and roots are coming up in the road, pushing, that's what that is. I went out there and looking at pine trees, the roots are coming up into the road, so we'll have to do something there with the trees.
I don't think gravel's gonna work, because gravel keeps washing down.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out something else right there.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And thank you especially for making that trip up to Queer Road yesterday to
Yes.
clarify a problem we've got with builders, and I'm sure that's happening across the county. So thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you. District 6.
Continue maintenance. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, so roll on. I need approval for road work request.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Thank you, yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. All right, let's move on to elected officials. Sheriff Stephen Stratton, please.
Can I go a little bit later? I'm waiting on some paperwork, I forgot.
Absolutely.
I got a project.
Right here past adjournment. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Two minutes, I got plenty of time.
You just let me know when you get it, and we'll come back to you. All right, Stacy Watkins, our county clerk, please come up.
This came in too late to get it on the agenda, so we decided to just bring it up during my elected official time. They have sent a contract from the state about that grant that y'all let me apply for, and we just need the judge's signature and Mr. Ross's signature so that we can go ahead and get that $10,700 from the state to reimburse you guys for election equipment.
So moved.
Second.
All right, good. I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Thank y'all. And then I have, I do need y'all to, is it acknowledge my fee report, please?
Make a motion to acknowledge the clerk's fee report.
Second.
A motion by Chris, second by Jamie. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Is that it?
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up is Jailer Joshua Toomey. Do you have anything for us?
I don't have anything today, sir.
You feeling all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, just making sure.
I've said it, the whole process.
I do need to get my fee report acknowledged. We'll start with that.
So moved.
Second.
I have a
That
motion.
went too fast. See, you were hoping.
I know, usually it's like a drawn out thing.
I'll tell you what,
I
Sheriff.
had a flat tire this morning. I'm off.
That'll throw.
Chris did.
Yeah.
Chris did? Okay.
Oh, all right. I have, sorry, it caught me off guard. I didn't know where to go with that, yeah. I have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion on the fee report, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
So my issue is I had a unit go down at the office, an air unit. It's the air part of the unit that is quit. We've been limping through it since last year, trying to patch it together. And I was going to prepare this budget upcoming to maybe look at replacing it. So I know that we're looking at the energy study, and that's, may have a play in this. So I did get 2 estimates so far on replacing the unit. I do have some numbers on fixing it, but basically replacing the capacitor and a few other things, which honestly, we feel like the whole unit just needs to be replaced because the difference in fixing it is about half of what a new one would be. So I didn't know what direction to go, is try to, hopefully the weather doesn't get much warmer and maybe go another 2 weeks. I don't know what the court wanted me to do, is try to prepare and go ahead. I do have the money in the budget to fix it now.
You got 2 quotes to replace it?
Yes.
What are the quotes?
Well, look at that. I tell you what, streamlined.
Took long enough, but PSK, let's see, make sure, has given one, and Southern Air Solutions. It was a little short notice, and that was the only 2 I could get to come before today.
How old was this unit?
Whew, it's over 10 years old.
Okay. That makes a difference.
Most of the units down there probably are well over 10 years old.
Okay.
That was, of course, I know when Sheriff Whitaker was there, a couple got replaced in the early 2000s. So they're
But not all.
limping. No. I don't think, that may be the original unit from the jail. I'm not sure when it was a jail. I doubt it, but yeah.
This one got all kinds of information in this one, just like.
You know, we tried to convince him to just let it limp along for a little while so we could figure out some of this stuff, but he said they had to have air down there.
Well, you know, it's just like in your home. You say, I will not touch that thermostat until May or something.
Yes.
Boy, you get a 80-degree day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it had to be the unit that was in the patrol room and that part of the building where, you know, most of them are gathered at, often out throughout the day. So that was kind of like, you know, they don't use the heat much in the winter because they have so much gear on, they don't need the heat, but boy, when it gets warm in there, there's some grouchy people.
I'd rather be cold than hot, so
Yeah.
I get that.
Nah, they're grouchy anyway, but I mean, you know, that's a different story.
So, I do get that. Especially in development.
I know they're probably kind of quick on
You
them.
know what all that is. I'm just gonna be at the mercy of what you say.
We can't have 4 sweating in there.
Right.
The sweat's enough as it is.
Never heard of them, Lana.
Ma, have you not? Oh, I've had it.
Oh, my word.
And you know, if I need to reach out and do some more, get some more, I don't.
2 quotes, let's replace it. I don't know why we wouldn't. And our low bid is the contractor who does 99% of our work. He
Correct.
does all the work at the jail. They have
Yeah.
the contract at
This
the
is,
jail.
Fall within your budget.
They have the contract.
Yeah,
with all the
yeah,
ones at the jail.
I had some money that I was gonna do some carpet stuff with, but I can just use that to replace the unit. I could wait on carpet again.
You either limp along in your budget for a couple of months, or you limp along without air conditioning.
Yeah, no, if y'all are good with that, I will move forward.
I make a motion to accept the bid from PSK to replace the unit at the sheriff's office for a total of $9,700.
Second.
We have a motion and a
There you
second.
go.
I can hear him now. I can hear him now cheering down at the office.
He just radioed it.
Yeah, he just called it out.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, we have a motion and a second on this. If there's no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And just a reminder, the last day of taxes at the office will be April 15th, so, letting everybody know that.
You have to, for Ms. Crawford's purposes here, on your fee report, add-ons, sheriff add-ons.
That is the late fees that we are collecting in the late fee period.
I apologize, I thought maybe this was something Thomas.
No.
had from, you know,
No, we're
his
actually,
experience at the time.
Warren always asks.
The auditors are
They
actually,
delay stuff.
no, the auditors are actually gonna let us change that to where it reads more plainly. But that's how they said, when they changed it last time, is just put add-ons, which we knew everybody was gonna ask. So, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. So it should be changed in the next few months.
Well, sorry that
Oh, no problem.
I'm the sticky fan here.
Thank you, Sheriff. Ben Kemplin or Coroner, Ben, do you have anything? No. All right, good. Well, not good, but you know what, it is good, but your counts or something I don't want to hear.
The cooler is still waiting to be installed. I think the judge has got a couple of.
We've got the quotes, I just haven't reached back out to, I was trying to get 3 quotes, I only got 2. I think everybody else I've talked to is not giving me a quote on it.
Yeah.
So,
I can't
I think we're just gonna move,
either.
I think we're just gonna move forward with the 2 quotes we have, since I've desperately tried to get more people, but a lot of people are not wanting to make do that.
Silly question, but isn't that like a paneled system?
Yes,
It is.
It locks
Can
together.
you not get help from inmates to puzzle that together, or is that a little more?
Well, there's lighting and stuff that has to go inside the walls, there's some conduits and stuff that you have to put in, and we could probably do that, but it's really, you're talking, that's the minimum
I just thought it
part.
was a snap.
It does, I mean, it
You
would,
and I could probably put it together,
right.
but would it pass inspection? That's
Oh,
the
we
question.
were-
Well,
We don't have inspections in Logan County, so you don't have to worry about that.
We're good, yeah. Meet me over tonight.
But you are in the city of Russellville, so yeah, I guess you would.
we will, yeah, anyway, we're working on that, and we'll probably get that taken care of pretty quick, so.
Is that something we have to take action on?
Want to remind
No,
y'all.
it'll be considered maintenance.
Okay, so we don't do that.
Yeah, we'll take care of that, so, yeah.
Because, I mean, we need to do that, stop paying the rent, you know?
Yeah, I know,
We've got everything out of Young's. The only thing we've got at Young's right now is, we put our bodies there in the cooler.
Yeah.
But everything else, we're running out of the new office, and any of y'all wanna stop by anytime, just give me a holler, I'll show you what we got set up. It's gonna be really nice if we get everything finished.
Absolutely.
Good, Dan.
Absolutely. We've got some discussion we need to have with the building committee pretty quick about the new coroner's office. Nothing major, just some requests and something Ben and I've been talking about. So maybe if we have time after, you guys can get together, the building committee can get together with Ben sometime in the near future, and you guys can discuss that. All right?
Okay.
Great. All right, moving on to department heads. Let's start with Ginger Lawrence.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let me get my eyes on so I can see. I just wanted to let y'all know I have one graduating the academy on the 19th, and she is the class leader, so that's a big thing for her.
Congratulations.
And so I'm real excited about that. And next week, April 14th through 20, is National Telecommunicators Week. So if y'all get a chance, stop by, see them, let them know how much you appreciate them.
Thanks for
14th
reminding
through
me.
what?
20th, But
And it's called telecommunications.
National Telecommunicators Week. That's our week. We get excited. And if anybody has any questions or anything for me.
So how many open spots do you have?
One.
Just one open spot?
And I'd like to get that full and get somebody in there, because I've got 2 that are expecting and due about the same time. So it'd be really nice to get somebody in there for that spot. Me and Derek and one of my employees, Christy, we went over to Dixon, Tennessee yesterday and looked at some consoles. And if I could have found a way to stick them in my pocket and bring them home, I would have. They were amazing. So some ideas on some different consoles. These are ones that can adjust, where you can stand up, you can sit down, different ways. But they were really nice. So,
I told her to be careful. She's looking at Cadillacs on a Yugo budget, so.
I'm trying. They were very, very nice. Now, I did talk to Jason about maybe he could do some of the lighting that they had. They had these things. They were just decked out. But some of the things that I think that we can kind of figure out on our own.
Isn't that cool? You could just turn to Jason and say.
I said, hey.
Give her some ideas.
But they had these consoles had it set up with their own heating and cooling at each console. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Their own heating and cooling.
Yes, it's pretty
They
cool.
produce them cheap.
So, just different things we can look at and work on, but it give us some ideas. But now the furniture we have down there now, we've had since '99. So I'm thinking, we're trying to upgrade everything. So we're working on it. But I'm looking for any ideas or any help I can get there.
Absolutely.
Anybody have anything else?
Thank you,
Thank
Ginger.
y'all.
Thank you, Ginger.
Next up, Archives, Denise Shoulders. She was up here, she said she had some exciting news, and she refused to tell me, so I'm hoping it's exciting news on the good side.
Always on the good side. Just want to remind everybody, we are in our Saturday hour time frame, 8 to noon, tours, research, no appointments necessary. Our filing cabinets have arrived. If you saw it last week, it was a little bit chaotic. We had them all stretched down the sidewalk. Want to thank Jailer Toomey for continuing to help us with everything that we've got going on with the work crew. They've been amazing. Solid Waste Coordinator Nathan Cockrell and Recycling Director Tim Pitts has also been in on helping get things done. So finishing with the current project, our high-density mobile units is the new update. That's our third stage of this current project. Got a call this morning at 8:30 that we're looking at late July, early August. So we're getting close, and at least it won't happen while we have the wall. And the other thing is that we also have a site visit planned for May for the current grant that we're waiting on, that we've applied for to replace the AC unit for the vault.
And
We find out in June if we get that one.
okay.
Any other questions?
Well, I'm proud of you, what you're doing in that ancient building that nobody wanted to see torn down, like so many places that just scrap everything. So thank you for seeing the integrity of some of our historic buildings.
Thank you.
I'm good, glad.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Denise. Let's see. Next up is Pee Wee. Come on up with your road supervisor. You have anything for us?
No, sir.
Okay.
Am I supposed to?
No, I don't guess. I guess.
We just want to see you.
Yeah, I just wanted to see you.
You just want to, no, we have a piece of equipment, but once I get more information, then I may
Right.
have something, but outside that, there's nothing I know of.
All right.
You got your new tractor yet?
We got the tractor, the mower's not in. It should be in this following week is what he's telling me.
Just in time for the mowing.
That's kind of the hold off on the mowing. We want to get that new tractor broke in correct.
Got it.
That's all right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Animal shelter. Eric, come on up. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher your name. Chris McGinnis did it pretty good this morning on the radio.
You did.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Eric Tusignot, right?
Tusignot, that's it. Like two sig knots. All right, as promised, here is March's dogs at the facility, in and out, how they got there and how they left. Did I think everybody get a copy? Did I get an extra one? Oh, I don't have mine. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sorry. Running around crazy. Just got off the radio. All right. We do have an extra. Okay, here you go. All right. So quick with March. We had 55 dogs to start the month. We ended with 63. We had 15 total picked up from ACO, so ACO drop-offs, 2 owner surrenders, 1 stray drop-off, and 3 transferred in from another facility. We had 13 adopted outs. Obviously, you can look at the percentage rates. Unfortunately, that number skyrocketed. If we want year-to-date as of today, we have, as of this yesterday, I had 74. We added 1 this morning, so we're at 75 total dogs. That's as of today. We are way over our capacity. we're looking at doing kind of like a green, yellow, red for what we're looking to have. 39 or less dogs would be in the green, 40 to 50 dogs were in the yellow, 50 plus dogs were in the red. With that, green, we would accept owner surrenders, stray drop-offs, transfers, basically we're open for everything. Yellow, we stop accepting owner surrenders and transfers. And then red, we stop accepting everything except for what we have to pick up from the ACO. And
I
that's,
like that control system. That's really good. That, we can look at that and know immediately. what
right.
to do.
And that's kind of, and I have it in the red, so, I mean, it's just going to be pretty simple laid out. Numbers mean a lot, so that's how we're going to move forward and kind of know what we got and what we need to move forward with. We really need a credit card machine. I don't know what or how we need to get that, but right now with the adoptions, we're doing cash and check, and it's, you know, a lot of people don't carry cash or checks anymore. You know, everything is credit card. So we could really use a credit card machine. The fee schedule that everybody approved, if we could do a minor change, I don't know how that works, but the original, we minus $50 on the adoption if they were not fixed. And then we would then have them go get them fixed. And so that's how, because in the adoption fee, it's $50 for us to get them fixed, so we were minusing it. The minor change I'd like to do is we charge them the full price. Once they get it fixed, we'll refund them the $50. It's kind of an incentive to get it fixed. If we minus the $50, who's to say they're going to ever do it? So this way, it kind of gives them an incentive to want to get that fixed. Yeah, and follow through with it.
So moved as requested.
Yes, absolutely. Second.
I don't have a motion or request, and I would have charged them more than that, but that's just me. But is there any discussion on this? And
No, that's a great idea.
let me add, before we do this, is that going to be a problem, Amanda, on the refunds and whatnot?
On refunds, they just have to know that it'll take, of course, all of our bills have to be approved through court. So,
Correct.
they would have to do that, and they'll have to fill out a W-9 before we can write the check.
Right, and we'd fill it all out. I mean, it's just a way to make sure that
Absolutely.
we get it, you know, and they'll know the process moving forward.
That's a great idea. Any other discussion on this? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
All right, so with that being said, we're waiting to hear back from Bowling Green Humane Society. They were very great for us last month. I think they're kind of dragging their feet. We're sending out a check today for the spay and neuters. So I'm wondering if they're dragging their feet because they haven't got paid yet. But as soon as they get paid, hopefully we get back with them. In the meantime, we're actually going to Butler County to their facility to get some dogs fixed. We were doing great till, I mean, we're just getting loaded up with dogs, so.
Right.
And the sad part is, every one of them comes in, you know, not spayed or neutered, so it's pretty sad. All right. The fee schedule for, is that, you guys are gonna talk about that? Or do you want me to?
We can do
Okay.
that right now.
For this Sunday, we'd like to do for our open house a reduced adoption fee. If we could do, it's 50% off for puppies up to 4 months, so right now it's $100, so it'd be $50. 50% off adult dogs up to 6 years old, which would be $42.50. And then senior dogs 7 years or older, no charge.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's only $25. Trying to get those dogs out is no small task when people always want the puppies.
And this is just for the open house?
Just for the open house, Sunday, April 14th, and no other discounts apply during this day, so, you know, you can't then get the senior discount and then keep up, you know, so That's what we're asking.
Eric, I was gonna ask a question. I saw this on a post that you all had. If you have animals that have been there a particularly long, maybe they're not 7 years old, but I saw you had a dog that had been there for a year.
Right.
Should that maybe fall in? Do you know any thought to like?
Yeah, we're kicking it around, we've been here just on our own for a month, so we're just trying to, see if that's something we need to do, add like senior dogs, or then put in something, if they've been here for X amount of time, then we do a reduced fee as well. We're definitely looking into that. I just didn't want to put that on there yet until I know exactly, how we're moving forward. So maybe next month we'll have it, we'll talk about that.
I actually think that's a great idea, just to see if we can move some of these dogs. There's some great dogs out there, we just need help moving them.
Right. Right, so that's the pricing for open house. Is there any other questions on that?
Well, I'm assuming you said you just got back from the radio station.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you put that on there and in the paper?
I put it, kind of. I told them that we were going to have some reduced fees once I go to court to present it. So, I said I don't have the exact, I said I'm hoping this is going to be approved. So I did let it know, but I didn't preempt myself.
You didn't preempt this.
Yeah, because if we got it turned down, then I don't want to have egg on my face and people tell me, well, you told us, so,
I make a motion to approve the reduced fees,
Absolutely, I second.
or these open house
Do you have
fees.
something else you want to say?
After the,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes,
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
The only question I had, I would hope as the director that we, as a court body, would allow you discretion. We're not selling bundles of shingles that we had to pay for. We've got a liability that the sooner we can get it out of our care and control, the better it is for the taxpayer. So if you had a situation and you said, well, I just can't do that because here's the grid and you fall in this category that this dog is this old and, surely you got the discretion to let that dog go. And if you want to make a note of it, hey, I let this person have this dog because this dog had health issues. And, technically he should have paid $42.50. But, we're not here trying to make money. We're trying to get a liability out the door, okay? So,
Go ahead.
yeah, we should follow a normal, good, healthy, adoptable dogs and, but a person's circumstance or an animal circumstance, I would hope this court gives you the discretion as the director to make that call and nobody's gonna beat you over the head because you didn't collect $42.50.
right. That's what, and I think on the bottom of the original fee schedule, it says all fees can be changed by LCACC director's discretion? Or did we change that?
No, well, technically, Joe, answer this
I would
for
just
me.
say, I think Thomas has got a good point. I do think while we're in the early stages of it, it's probably good to get court approval, but while you're doing these things like today, why don't you draft all that into a policy that they can ultimately approve, and then he's got discretion within that.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with him. If you have one, especially one that's gonna be a high liability dog in terms of what you keep up, to write that also in there where you have that discretion. I do think there needs to be parameters within which you've got to work, but just keep compiling all of this so we can have a policy in place that they've approved, and they could change if you started to get too lax with it, but that they don't have to vote on every fire sale you have on trying to, get inventory out.
I'm telling you, if you called me tomorrow and said 75 dogs were adopted and I collected zero money, I will buy your lunch. I promise you. You're not going to hear nothing from me.
Right.
I'm not running a for-profit animal shelter.
Right.
Okay? The goal is to get these animals in good homes. And, I know we do need a fee schedule, but, we don't also not want to adopt a dog because for some situation, every situation is different. You know, we're dealing with animals and human life. We're not dealing with, like I said, selling a bundle of shingles that we had to pay $75 for and try to sell it to somebody else for $80.
Right.
I mean, it's a liability to us.
Right.
No different. J.R. Toomey works hard to get people out of the jail.
Right,
you know?
and that's why we've done the reduce, I mean, we've lowered the cost, I mean, from when the Humane Society was here, except for the puppies. The puppies are about the same price, just because
Well, we have to.
everybody want, yeah,
Because as you said, most of them come unfixed.
right,
So we have to charge something or you're gonna be out
right.
liability every time.
Right, I mean, it gets to be, I mean, we're $50 every time we, at least $50 every time we go to Bowling Green. So, that's, I mean, the biggest thing we try to do is just collect our investment back into what the dogs were.
I guess I would throw one thing out there for you all to decide what you'd rather do. Would you rather kind of take this slow and let Eric develop something, or just keep this fee schedule that you've passed in place, but then maybe have give the judge executive the authority to approve discretionary things for such as open houses or sick animals, to where it doesn't have to come to you all every time?
They need to come to us. We only meet twice, a month. I mean, we don't miss out on
Well, if I go to the judge and the judge approves it.
Judge, but,
I would
just for now.
I would
You're
just
doing it
say,
10 times a
sometimes,
day.
I mean, Eric's doing a great job, but he's not always going to be there. I don't like too much discretion in that, because discretion poorly exercised can lead to problems for government. So that's why I would like some safeguards in there, that at least we're giving parameters of what that is, give wide discretion, but right when he's supposed to exercise that. But if you really don't want to have to see this anymore, I think you could just give the judge executive the authority to approve him varying from that, because that does give a supervisory, head of county given that authority.
Possibly the only discretion I see in this, and I think Amanda and I, treasurer, have spoke about this many times, is we do have a fee schedule. And at the end of the year, when the auditors come, they're going to have to, they need justification of why we did that. And that would be the only reason that I would see. Am I correct on that, on my assumptions there?
When we get audited, they pull my receipts and they track them back to any set fee schedule that we have. So I'm not sure what they would say about that. It could be an audit comment, so just know that.
So, Joe, you were speaking of parameters. You're talking about, for example, age of animal, time in the center.
Just some sort of, but we don't want somebody, and again, I'm not saying this about Eric, but my job is worst case scenario, but I don't want my shelter director coming in and going, well, I don't know Ms. Crawford, so yours is 42. Thomas is my neighbor, how about we give you this one for 10? So just something that says this is when you're supposed to do it. He can write something there that this has occurred. And there's just like parameters, but it also, I get it, you all don't want to run an animal shelter every fiscal court meeting, and Eric probably wants the leeway to do that.
Agreed.
So if we could just, I think growing, we can continue adding to your discretion and let you write that. And I think what we've maybe done today, adding in Thomas's stuff about basically just like when it's financially beneficial to us that you can vary from these things, putting that in a policy, passing that next time, and then hopefully you don't have to get stuff approved every meeting.
Right, and on that, I'm working hard to get our total policy and procedures done. Just, it's been a struggle to be able to sit down and get this done, but being there 7 days a week, 50-plus hours a week, I'm trying to get it done. We're getting there, we're close. We're close. And once we get that, obviously, we'll bring it to you guys for approval and all that other fun stuff.
I think it's worth mentioning too that, we definitely need to have, I think it's good that we have some sort of schedule and we kind of go along with that. I would like to keep in mind as well as, even though we're not connected anymore directly to, like the Humane Society or Best Friends or whoever, or the new one. So, I think collectively, everyone that's doing adoptions and everyone that's taking in animals including us and the other nonprofits in the area, is that they have to charge the fees because they have to be able to keep their mission going. So if, you know, I don't want to do anything that's going to keep them from being able to collect their fees. Otherwise, they just go through the, you know, if we stop collecting fees, or if we get so, you know, we definitely can offset some costs. I mean, you know, if it's spay and neuter and shots, there's definitely costs to be offset. But, you know, I don't want to get to where we're not allowing the other nonprofits in the area to collect their fees. You know, if their fees are $150, and we're like, oh, we come get them at, nobody's going to them, and they're just coming to the county. You know, we got to make sure that they're staying. I mean, it's a bit, you know, staying in business basically. Because I think collectively, all of us together is helping the population. So I don't want to hurt them financially. For them to be able to get their adoption fees too. So I think we have to keep that in mind too, I think, when we're doing the fees.
Okay. So going back to the fees, since we have to do this right now, the fee schedule for, do we have a motion and a second on the fee schedule for Sunday?
We've already done that.
We didn't get approval, did we? We got approval on that? Oh my gosh.
Rewind the tape for me.
Okay, as long as you got it, I'm fine. I didn't realize we took that on. My apologies. All right, Eric, what else do you have for us?
All right, real quick, facility upgrades. We talked a little bit. A couple things we've done to really help us out. We non-skid stair treads going up the stairs are in place, which, you know, when I got there, everybody's like, I can't believe no one's fallen. So we got that done. New paint. We painted the welcome room, so right when you walk in, it's all new. Colors are a little bit different, close, just tamed down a little bit. They were pretty wild colors, so we kind of tamed some colors down and updated it. All the baseboards are all painted white. The bathroom, from that neon pink to a tamed down little purple. And the visitation room. And a big thanks to the Zieglers. They came out and donated their time and did all the painting, which was amazing, and they did a fabulous job. All broken tile replaced in the hallway, which it was a huge, I mean, it looked pretty bad. That's all fixed and looks great. New storm door at the entrance, new paneling down the hallway, covering up the holes and everything. So it just, when you walk in, it's a welcoming sense instead of like, what the heck happened? You know, a storm come through. Obviously, you know, anything can look great if you put some time and effort into it.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we've done, is we put time and effort into the building. You know, it's still a building, an old building, but you wouldn't think that it was the same building, you know, that it was 4 months ago. A huge thanks to the Archives and Genealogical Society for chairs and desks and shelving that they given us. So that's a huge thanks. That was great for us that we saved a ton of money on that. Concerns, we still have outside cages that need to get built. We have 3 more that need to be built so the Humane Society then can get their stuff. I've said if they wanted to come take them down, I'd put them back up. Still waiting for that offer, so once we get around to it, if we have to take them down, it's obviously when we can get them down. You know, if the Humane Society wants to come out and take them down, by all means, they're more than welcome to do that, and then we'll get the new ones up. We have the supplies for it. It's just trying to get them down, get them up with everything else we got going on. Dog houses, I thought it was going to be a simple, let's order them from Walmart.com. We're trying to get an account set up for the Walmart for the fiscal court. It's not as simple as I thought it was going to be, so we're still just waiting on the dog houses. But that's hopefully getting solved soon. So basically, the Humane Society, what they have left, they have 15 dog houses, 7 kennels, 4 carports, a dog wash tub, and 10 food bowls. And Jason, I'll relay this to you. If you're still on the board, they can come get that stuff whenever they want. It's there for them.
So we're not using those things?
Yes and no. We are, but if they want to come and get it, it's their property, their right to it, I'll get it, I'll figure it out. You know, I don't want to hold them back, I don't want to be, you know,
I think
shamed on media.
They come and do that as soon as possible. I mean, it's, you know, tell them come get their stuff by a certain day. So.
Right, you know, and they're saying we're holding them up, and I disagree that we're not. Their stuff is available for them if they want to come get it. So that's what we have there. Like the dog houses, if I have to, I'll figure something out. We'll get it done if they want to come get them. We have 5 there. We just need 10 more. We'll get it done if they want to come get it. You know, I just want what's best for the animals, and we'll make sure that we take care of that.
Let me ask a question. Now, this may be totally impossible, but you say you need 10 more doghouses.
Yes.
Have you looked at the vocation schools that are, okay?
No, I didn't mean to laugh.
Yes.
We had some time, we had some stuff that the vocational school was gonna do for us, and it was great, everything was working, but they got put on a deadline, and now they're not able to work us in.
Oh.
So that's why I was
Yeah, we
laughing,
reached out
we
to
got
them.
that message, what, Tuesday?
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Oh, so I'm 2 days behind, I'm excited.
Sorry.
The worst thing is you can't use wooden dog houses because you can't clean them.
Because the.
Where y'all buy those igloo like that?
Yeah, so when Walmart had them for a great price, and that's why we didn't use like Amazon or whatever, it was like $50 less on Walmart per house. So that's why I was trying to go to Walmart instead of going through Amazon.
I was going to ask about Tractor Supply, they donate a lot of stuff, I just wondered they might be nice to give them some business too, but I didn't know what their products were.
Just the expense of it, you know, I mean, we can get it from anywhere. I was just trying to be, you know, somewhat fiscally responsible with what we're buying, you know, and at Walmart was the best price, you know.
And that's what you're supposed to do, is to get the best.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah, exactly, and that's what, you know, and everything we've done, we've shopped around, even with our kennels, we've done it at a half price for what we could have, you know, paid for just by building some of them. You know, a lot of stuff is a lot cheaper when you build it yourself. All right, so the last thing is we have gotten inmates, and we've appreciated it. I'm just have to reach back out to Jailer Toomey just to try to see if we can have a consistency of, you know, of the people and the timing of it. Like yesterday was a rough day. We came in, we had 1 inmate. You know, usually we have 3, you know, maybe 4. We would love to have 4. You know, with us not being fully staffed right now as well, that kind of put us into it was a long day. But that's, you know, it's been awesome having the inmates, and they've been great, you know, and they've actually, you know, they've been a big help, and they've really learned how we're doing things, and taken that responsibility on pretty good, you know. But if we could just see how if we can
get our numbers back up, we're low, and we'll try to make them available.
That would be amazing.
Try to get it on the schedule for each week.
Right, that would be amazing.
Thank you.
The last thing, and just put it out since this is being aired, looking for just volunteers, not to help clean or do anything like that, just to maybe help walk the dogs or come socialize with the dogs. You know, that's a big part of what we're missing right now. We got the cleaning down, we're getting everything right, but by the time we get all that done, we've used all of our labor, and now we're sending people home, and these dogs are sitting in a nice clean kennel, but that's what they're sitting in, instead of being able, you know, people coming out and help walking them and stuff like that. So, you know, and that would be a great thing. You know, our hours, you know, we're noon to 3, Monday, Tuesday, closed Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, noon to 3, we're closed Sundays. So any of those days that anybody has or knows of any volunteers that want to come out and just help walk dogs or socialize dogs, we'd love it. And then on our closed days, they could come anytime, you know, that's just,
Age limits or anything on your volunteers?
that would be a question
I was gonna ask the same thing about youth groups and stuff like that, you know.
I think it would need to be at the discretion of the parent. I would say
Right.
anyone under 16 probably would need permission from their parents to come out
Right.
there. Am I wrong? Maybe even below 18, you know? I don't know.
You had Jace working in your office all 2 weeks ago.
That was under the discretion of his mother.
I think a reasonable age that would be appropriate.
I think it'd be
14,
fine.
16.
So if youth groups want to do it, if there's children that have school project, need credit hours for that, I think we would more than welcome that. We'll sign that paperwork.
Perfect. Just last thing, I just want for Sunday, just give a little shout out to, we're having the El Taco appetizer food truck, Kona Ice is coming, and then a dessert truck. We have vendors, Debbie's Creations coming, Pet Accessories, Canis Major, Dog Training, freeze-dried candy, Little Paws of Kentucky, Pet Treats, bandanas and stickers, Sentimental Scents, and then we did get the Russellville Fire Department's going to bring out a fire truck. So we're pretty excited for this day, you know.
Absolutely.
Just to showcase the animals. That's what this is all about, you know. We have 75 dogs, and we'd love to see some people, you know, take these animals home and love them forever.
That's right.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the animal shelter on a list that, like, and I don't know what it's called, I can't remember what it's called, like, for people who need, community hours?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And they've been sending quite a few to us.
I didn't know what it was called.
No, it's fine.
And I actually have a meeting today with a lady at one that is a community service organizer, and she works through a church. So she's going to come and we're going to discuss and see what they have to offer and what we can use and try to help us out that way as well.
You are on the court list, though.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
We are on the court list, yes, 100%. We are on the,
Force people to go there as part of their plea.
Good.
right. Yeah, we're getting some people to come.
One more thing I would like to say, or kind of, I know you're going 90 miles an hour and
Yes.
you're getting things figured out and you're getting the process figured out and you're doing a fantastic job at that. And I think we're finally getting in a direction that is best for the animals and best for our county. But as things start ironing out, you know, and you get your process and, you know, kind of, I think once we get the process and you know how you're moving the animals and you know, you get your process really nailed down, kind of start thinking about the building and maybe, you know, in the next year or two, moving forward on adding to what we have. You know, I think you can probably still use the old, you know, the old portion where you have the cages.
Yep.
And then just maybe put something in front of that, like I don't know, another building. Maybe just kind of keep that in your thoughts as you're doing all of your planning and all your procedures, because I mean, I think the court has been proven that the process is getting better, and I think we would definitely be ready within the next year or so or two to start looking at. I would be looking at doing an addition to that building.
100%, and that's kind of why, you know, even with the stuff that we are fixing, you know, we're not doing major, you know, we put paneling over where there was holes instead of taking the drywall out and, you know, and spending that extra money to fix the building up to, you know, to be X amount of great, you know, whatever. We're just making it look presentable in a better shape, you know, with minimal cost.
Right.
So we can, and yes, we definitely have a thought of moving into, you know.
Old barn building on nice concrete slab, you know,
Right.
that would.
Right, you know, either next at the same place or, you know, wherever, but yes, we have, definitely would love to.
Eric and I have this discussion quite often about, you know, the future possibilities and what we could do, and it's positive from now
I
on.
think we're
It is
still
very
in the
positive. It's just
development stages.
Exactly.
But I think we're getting close to the point where we can start having those discussions again.
Absolutely.
But anyway, appreciate everything you're doing, Eric, man.
You got it.
You're doing fantastic.
Thank you.
And what time does it start on open house? 12?
It's 12:30.
12:30.
We're gonna have food trucks. I'd love for everybody to come out. Hey, just come and see what we've done and come look at a couple dogs would be
Absolutely.
absolutely amazing. You know, and I did say on the radio too, let everybody know you don't have to adopt a dog that day. Just come out.
Yeah.
You know, come out and see the dog. See, you know, you may have a friend that maybe wanted a dog sometime down the road, and you come see this dog, and they're like, oh, maybe they'll like it. I mean, you just never know. You know, more eyes on these animals, the more chance they're going to get adopted out. So
If someone
Absolutely.
doesn't want to adopt a dog, like they come Sunday or any time, if they don't want to adopt a dog or have another dog in their house, can they
100%. So
say,
yes.
you know,
So what we've
somebody-
yes, and we have. I do believe my wife. My wife's absolutely amazing. She's the boss. She's there every day with me, 50+ hours volunteering.
Absolutely wonderful.
But we have 4 dogs right now that are sponsored. So people will come in, they can't, like you said, don't want the dog or they can't have the dog, but they'd love the dog. They actually paid for them to be adopted. So we have 4 dogs right now that are sponsored that are free to whoever.
You can go in, you can pick out the dog, and you can say, I want to sponsor this dog and this dog. Or you can actually I want to sponsor someone to take one dog out of this facility, whatever
Right.
you choose to do.
Like if
So
a pit bull,
get your
you know,
checkbooks
hey,
out and come out there and adopt.
We've had somebody that sponsored, they love pit bulls and said any pit bull will sponsor, so they paid for them to be adopted. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to do all kinds of things to think outside the box to get these dogs moving, and that's one way that we have, and we do have 4 dogs right now that are sponsored, so,
Wow, I didn't realize that, that's cool.
yeah.
Eric, thank you for your work. Thank you for everything you do. Sunday, if my dog keeps digging holes in my yard, I might surrender him. Just kidding. But on everyone's way out, Eric will be set up at the doors with cages of dogs, so just grab one.
Exactly, take one home.
And take one home with you. Eric, thank you very much.
You got it, thanks.
All right, Nathan, come on up, buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I will preach fast. I'll move through. The litter report is with y'all. What was picked up in March, we did have 33 miles around, 532 bags, and 12 tires. And the several nonprofits and the jail crew working hard, always appreciate it. Always
Absolutely.
appreciate what they do. Also in your report was for the recycling center in the last month. We had 22 bales of cardboard and some plastic and metal, and as Denise already talked about, some of that was from the archives, and also at Darrellville and Stevenson schools had some loads of aluminum cans that we recycle. And we are going to do a little bit more work on the recycling center. The judge and I have talked about that. We're working on some bids for a banged up garage door out there. It's got some issues, so we're going to do some work on that. So I hope to have something to you next time on that. Wanted to mention again about the waste tire event, just to put that out since it's coming up here pretty soon, May the 2nd through the 4th, just to get those dates out there. The 2nd and the 3rd, which is a Thursday and Friday, 8 to 3, and on May 4th, it'll be the Saturday, 8 to noon. It's at the State Highway Garage. We often have it at the county, but this time it's at the State Highway on 1203 Nashville Street. And we do take most types of tires, and we take them on the rims. We'll take whatever folks have, as long as we're asking it be Logan County residents and no tire dealers or scrap yards. So, put that out there.
Any new news on the McKinney?
I'm coming right up on that. Yes, sir, I'm coming right up on that. So I did have in y'all's reports too a recycler, Logan County Salvage, which is out on Highland Lick Road. And I inspected them in this recent time, and I do submit them for approval.
So moved.
It's called Logan County Salvage?
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, and as Chris just mentioned, I wanted to bring that back up. We had delayed that last court meeting, and we'd been some email discussion going on about that particular situation, but I did want to see the pleasure of the court on the proposed CD&D site at the Jerry McKinney property. The thought might be that he could have a public engineer come, but that doesn't seem to be possible at this time. And so the ways we could possibly move forward with this are to request a public hearing or schedule a public hearing for this, or to go ahead and take a step back and have Mr. McKinney provide a private engineer since the public one isn't available. And it was delayed so everybody could be here, and so I wanted to present that too and see what y'all wanted to do.
Nathan, I wish I could find that email correspondence with the lady. I forget what her name was.
Jennifer Burns works at the state office in Bowling Green.
I'm going on memory, but I mean, it was my understanding that she indicated that if he wanted to have a construction debris landfill, that an engineer was required to develop a plan that he had to follow. So,
But that they couldn't provide.
But they didn't have a state engineer, you know. So it sounds like to me, you know, he's going to have to follow those steps that she's laid out. Otherwise, he needs to load it up and haul it off to an approved landfill. And I guess at a public meeting, that plan should be available. That's how I interpreted it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I want us to be on the same page, you know, and if I misinterpreted, I'm all ears. But
of course, that what she's referring to has to do with the state process, and so that's separate from us. So yeah, I mean, eventually it seems like that it would go the route that he would need an engineer at some point. It wouldn't have to necessarily be now as far as that goes, but yeah, I mean, it could definitely, if that's what y'all wanted to do, that's what we could have him do.
So are you saying we have a different process from
Yes,
state?
we do. We do.
Is our process more lenient?
Probably it could be in some ways it could be, and in some ways it might be even less lenient. It just kind of depends on the circumstance. So.
Well, I think what Chris is saying is guidelines are guidelines. And if she recommended something, which from what I understood and remembered was what you understood and remembered, and the state can't provide one. So we're looking at if we don't do this according to guidelines now, what are we going to face down the road? Well, you didn't follow it there. Isn't that what you're talking about, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just assumed that our guidelines were their guidelines. I honestly didn't know we had separate.
It's a little different. Yeah, they have their own process that they do that we have to do ours first is how it's set up before they can do theirs. But it is different, and it would just be the pleasure if that's the way y'all want to go, we'll have him do that. We'll have him get an engineer.
Well, what's the input of the rest of you?
I would consider option C for myself, which would be kind of know the situation he was put in. Part of that is, a good part of that is his own fault, but I do understand that, you know, the situation he's in. So option C for me would be, I would allow a permit, if we could, for him to properly cover up and what's there and close the site.
Okay.
If he wants to go into the landfill business, I'm agreeing with Chris, and we need to have, I don't understand engineering stuff, I don't understand landfills, but if he is wanting to go into the landfill business and continual operation, then we probably would be wise to go down the road like Chris and Ms. Crawford are probably leaning towards. But he's in a bad situation because of what had happened, and if he's just wanting to remedy the current situation, then I would make it an exception and, hey, kind of write us out a plan. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Are you going to follow the state guidelines of this much fill, or this much trash, this much, you know, all the bad stuff has been removed, or the recycled stuff, I shouldn't say bad, the recycled stuff's been moved. Now we're just left with some construction debris, you know, and if he wants to take it and cover it up like our guidelines say, and this is the window of time it's gonna take him to do it, 3 months, 6 months, I don't know how long it's gonna take him, give us a plan, then I would probably lean on accepting that plan. But now if he says, no, I wanna run a landfill, you know,
Everything that he's told me has indicated he wants to stop at this and not do anything else.
so I would consider option C for me.
But as I recall,
I
he
wanna help
didn't plan for a barrier. He said because of the soil composition.
That is correct.
I'm on Chris, I'm remembering, but as far as soil composition, it wasn't porous, it was more clay, and he said, I don't need a barrier. So, I mean, we're burying this, we're accepting that according to you. And you don't mind, no barrier,
And that's construction debris, I mean, goodness.
no problem.
Yeah, no
It's,
problem.
state guidelines are kind of goofy. Asbestos, you can go out in your farm, dig a hole. and
Oh, I
bury-
guarantee you there's stuff
bury
buried I don't
asbestos.
even know about.
You don't have to do
I'm not
nothing,
disagreeing
you
with
know,
you.
Just as long as it comes from a residential site.
I just
you know,
think we
but-
need to cover ourselves. So,
Well, again, I go back, I honestly did not know we had a local process and a state process. I just assumed it was really,
that's fine.
we just said you follow state guidelines. I'm not looking to penalize him or make it harder on him, you know, I guess my biggest concern was just some assurance that he was doing it properly and that somebody verified that he had done it properly. That's all, you know, a lot of trust, you know, I guess, and
Yeah, what we do here is going to set precedent. So I just want to be careful and not permit a landfill site, even though it's only 1 acre, I think, if I remember correctly. You know, it just set precedent. You know, I'd like to set a precedent that there was almost an illegal dump situation, not quite, but almost. And he is working real hard to get that. And I've known this gentleman all my life, and he's going to do what's right. There's no doubt in my mind, and he is working towards that now. And I'd rather see a temporary agreement made that this thing's going to be closed in 90 days. And then that's gone. You know, that permit is gone. You'd have to work with Joe, I guess, to work out how that works. But I don't want to permit a landfill for 1 acre and without going down the road Chris and Ms. Crawford are talking about.
Okay.
Close what he's got, I'd make an exception.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. As long, I mean, like I said, I just want somebody just to verify. I don't know if that falls on you, Nathan. I just, you know.
I'll be working with Jennifer on that, to make sure he does whatever y'all decide to do.
Right and that
Yeah.
he's done. You know, that we're not watching something else roll in there 6 months from now.
I would say two things with that. One, next court meeting, we'll put this back on to decide, to let him decide for sure what he wants to do. I like what Thomas is saying. If he does want to do it that way, then we can set the hearing to be held the meeting after that. If he wants to make it bigger, then you'd probably need to give him some time to get that engineering study, it would seem like.
So hold it till the next board, the next.
Well,
meeting.
hold.
To decide what Jerry wants
So
to
let
do.
him decide what he wants to do. Basically, you're giving him the option to get the engineer if he wants to get into that business. But if.
To let him make the decision, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and then if not, you'd still need to have that hearing, and at that point, we could issue a permit, basically with limited duration, with contingencies and
Okay, I'm all for
strings
that.
attached.
So the hearing would still be necessary in your opinion as far as like
I
a
mean, if we're
public
gonna
hearing?
move forward, public hearing is not necessarily just about you all, because you could still have people come and gripe about it, so we would need to formally, give the public their opportunity to be heard, and we're still one decision away from being able to set that.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Sounds good. I will come back with the decision and let y'all know, and we can go from there. So, all right. If nothing else, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's roll on with, I think we're done with department heads, I believe, so let's move on to judges' announcements. I just have a few little quick announcements. April 11th, Russellville Parks and Rec, that's today. They're having their Little League sign-ups, ages, boys and girls ages 4 to 6, must be 4 by May the 7th. Coach pitch, ages 7 to 9, and girls 9 years old also. Both must be 9 by the entire season. Man, this is a mouthful to say here. Softy ball for girls, this is all these sign-ups are April 11th at 190 Winter Street. That's the old Armory building, I believe. April 13th, Red River Fish and Game Club barbecue dinner. April 13th at 4 o'clock at their clubhouse. Plate lunches are $10. Coon Range Fish and Game Club Kids Fishing Derby is April the 13th, also 9 to 11 at Coon Range Lake. They're having food and desserts available. An indoor silent auction will be held from 1 to 2. Summer Nights Cruise In on the Square is also Saturday night at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. All vendors are welcome. For more information, contact Clay Blue, 270-772-1009. April the 14th, we've got two things. Remember the Animal Care and Control Open House at 1230 Morgantown Road, 1230 to 3. Tons of vendors and food trucks set up there. Also, Auburn Rural Fire Department, at 12:30 on Sunday, April 14th, will be having their annual meeting. One last thing, April 20th, Russell Rural Fire Department's annual fundraiser auction at 5 p.m. at the Logan County Extension Office. They'll be having a pork loin dinner will be available, a grand prize of $300, and a kid's hot dog plate. And I believe that's about it. Before we roll on, I've been asked that we take a quick break, so let's return here at 10:40. It'll be a 10-minute quick break, 10:40.
Oh, Jerry, this time last meeting. Yes, it is me.
Back online. All
right, thank you for that short recess. Let's return back to the meeting with citizens' participation.
Good morning. Well, I want to start out by saying that being here in fiscal court again is probably not where I wanted to be today, and I'm pretty sure that most of you would rather I didn't have to be here either. I'm very much looking forward to the day when I can come up here as just a normal citizen, as opposed to the president of the Humane Society. I had very much hoped that the last time I was up here would have been the last time. The additional 30 days we had given to the ACC shelter to finish building out their new kennels and purchasing their new equipment to replace the Humane Society's property was almost up. And we had expected to be able to retrieve the last of our belongings and to finish the split between the two entities completely and begin working together in a whole new way in order to solve or work together towards solving the massive problem of stray and surrendered dogs and cats in Logan County. But unfortunately, we are still in this same situation. And while we understand that there are many, many dogs at the animal control facility, we are still, as Eric noted already this morning, waiting on almost the exact same equipment that I had itemized during our last court session. In spite of the extended 30-day timeline window now having passed by a couple of weeks, there are still 7 of our outdoor kennels. They're still with dogs in them, so they are unable to be dismantled and removed, as well as our carport still covering them. Our indoor small dog kennel still has, to best of our knowledge, ACC dogs in it, so we cannot bring it to our new location. And replacements for the dog wash station, the scale, the remaining bowls, those are all still in use by the ACC. These are items, as we all know, of Humane Society property that we were assured over 6 weeks ago would be replaced speedily and without delay. And while we were at the ACC shelter yesterday, removing the last of the canned dog and cat food, I asked for a new timeline of when the remaining kennels would be available and was told to just come and get everything as soon as we wanted and they would just work something out. However, we all know that that is unrealistic at best, because we all know that we can't and we won't do that, because we most certainly will not leave dogs just standing there with no appropriate shelter ready for them to already move into. What we don't know is, what we've been asking for is when those new kennels and shelters will be built. We feel that we've been quite patient with this situation. We did everything that we could do to abide by the 30-day eviction notice that was served to me by the sheriff's deputy. We removed all of our belongings that were available to take from within the building and within the gated area within that legally set forth period of time. Our storage buildings, thanks to Jason, were removed as soon as we had procured their transportation. The pallets of the excess dog and cat food have been removed and that area cleaned up prior to the open house, as was requested by the ACC. We have done everything we could to be accommodating during this incredibly difficult situation for the Humane Society. But we cannot take kennels that do not have replacement facilities already set up. It's a lovely thing to say, just come and take everything and we'll figure something out. But until those new kennels for housing those animals have been built, it would be irresponsible of us and not in the interest of the animals to do so. If they are ready to go, we will absolutely be there next week for the scale, the dog wash station, the bowls, and the indoor kennel if it's empty of those dogs and they've been appropriately housed. We don't want to interfere with the open house this weekend. But as for the outdoor kennels and those associated things, the carports and the igloos, until this morning, we were told that our kennels will be dismantled as new ones were built and the dogs were moved into them. That we can come and take them that we can come and dismantle them was a new development. So we are more than happy to bring some volunteers and dismantle our remaining kennels, but not until there is appropriate shelter for them to be immediately and appropriately moved into. So the Humane Society is doing our best to get resituated and settled and up and running again so that we can properly be able to assist in the fight for the Logan County's dogs and cats. And we would like to know, we would like to have a date for, or some kind of a timeline as to when those new shelters, those new kennels will be built so that we can come and dismantle and remove the last of our property.
How about April 19th?
April 19th, if that's a date.
That's the date. Everything will be setting outside the gate, April 19th for you.
We're happy to come in and help dismantle things.
No, we'll take care of it.
Okay.
We've been talking about the same thing for 6 months. It's just.
Yeah, we're just happy to, all we want to do is to be able to focus on getting things set up on our side, and we are more than happy, as I said, if you would like any of our assistants to come in and dismantle things. The carports, we know it's a big job, and we're happy to do so.
As far as the carports, that's on you guys. We will try to get them outside the gates, and you guys can disassemble them there, or you can just come and disassemble the carports, because we don't really want to touch them, because if they fall apart or something happens to them, we don't want to be held responsible or liable for those. So as far as that, you guys can come get those carports anytime you want to.
Okay.
What are the carports? I guess I'm-
The carports are the large, they're the big metal sheds that the kennels are underneath. So the dogs, they provide overhead shelter as opposed to frames and tarps and things like that. They're literally carports, yeah.
I think
Jason, have you found anybody that can move those?
it's too expensive.
It's too expensive and difficult.
Warren County Humane Society, best of my knowledge, donated those to the Humane Society Animal Shelter or whatever.
Right.
I mean, 15 years ago or however long it's been.
It's just maybe a stupid question, but, you know, is there a fair market value for these items? I mean, you know, I've said this since day one. Look like, you know, you're starting a new place. You know, you take we'll just use the carport for instance. You know, a new one's, I'm making up a number, I have no idea what.
No, neither do I.
A new one's $2,000. We've got a 15-year-old one. Is there not it's gonna cost you a few $100s to get it moved. Is there not a fair market value that we could say, that you put on it, we don't wanna put on it, that you would go in there and assess that and say, you know what, these items that are left, fair market value for this used stuff is X amount of dollars. We'll either come get it on the 19th, or you write us a check for this amount, and all parties are happy. I mean, you know, I just want to do what's best for you. It gives you.
Well,
if you want it, come get it, but.
That's definitely been something that we've discussed, and it's not easy getting all of these things moved out. There's no question about that. They are items that we would have to replace at replacement value, at replacement cost, though.
But the Humane Society don't need 47 kennels and 150 dog bowls. I think that's what we've been trying to get at since day one. And that's why I've suggested the same thing 15 times. But apparently that would just be too easy to solve. I mean, I'm assuming.
I just thought that would be the
I mean,
easiest
does the
thing to
Humane
do.
Society need 4 carports? I mean,
Well-
does the animal shelter need 4 carports? Does the animal shelter even want them?
I mean, to me, that'd be a question for Eric, whether we want them or not, but I can tell you right now, I'm not paying a brand new price for those
No,
carports.
absolutely not.
No, for 15-year-old carports, what I'm saying is that,
Fair market value if you.
right, we would have to pay replacement value for them, though, to put them up at our new facility. So if we were going to take them down, take them over, put them up so that we can have cover over our kennels.
So it sounds like the answer is no.
Well, I don't know. That's something that we can we can talk to the board. We have a board meeting coming up next week, and we can talk about it during the board meeting and bring a price to you. And if that's something that is amenable, then that's certainly something that can be discussed.
Well, the problem is, though, it's gonna be past the 19th.
Yeah,
so
I think
that's
we
not
just,
gonna be
I think we
an
just, like the judge says, it's the 19th, y'all take everything you got by the 19th. and then-
The carports is the only issue, in my opinion, because the quote I got was astronomical. It like made me want to quit my job and go in the carport moving business. I mean, it was crazy. It's a specialized deal, Because you gotta take them down and put them back up.
Yeah.
You can't just move them because they're 12 and 16 foot wide.
They're not able to be moved as they are because they're not able to be
Well, that's what
lifted.
I'm saying, when you assess that,
Yeah.
it's just a business decision. I mean, you're gonna have to tear that down,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have to move it and put it back up.
Yep.
Okay, so.
And it's 15 years old.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at, I mean.
Oh, it's a big job. It's
If you buy a new
no,
one and it's $3,000 and it's gonna cost you $1,000 to move this one, that seemed like fair market
I don't know
value.
the condition, and again, I'm not trying to wade into this, but will they even survive being moved? I know I've tried to
Yeah.
move things, okay.
They're good enough condition.
Yeah.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
Josh said he could work into some conversation as to whether or not some of his inmates could help get all that done.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I know I'm bringing a
Completely
group.
done.
I know I'm bringing a group for the D Now this week, this weekend.
Well, he
I'm
didn't
bringing a
promise
group
anything. He
of,
said discussion from it.
right.
So I don't want to put him on the line.
yeah, I will get with him on Monday morning.
I'm here to help.
Well, I did that carefully.
We're here to help.
Yeah, I'll get with you on Monday morning after
No,
open house and see where we're at.
So maybe the Humane Society can meet in the next few days and figure out, so like, you've got a few things that they have to immediately buy and replace.
Right.
So it'd be silly for them to sell it to the shelter at a discount and go pay full price for it back. But in my opinion, the 4 carports is something that the Humane Society needs to consider selling to the court at fair market price.
value.
So on the 19th, everything besides that needs to be gone.
That's fine. That's
And then
doable.
after that, the next court meeting, the Humane Society representative can come say, hey, this is what we decided fair market value was on this. And if the court's willing to pay this price, we'll leave it. But if not, then we will pay somebody to come get it.
That's fair. That's fair.
that's
Does that
fair.
sound
Yep,
good to
that
you?
sounds great. So we'll make a plan to get the board together
Yeah.
in the next few days.
Well,
and-
we don't have to do that now because
well, we have a board meeting on Monday.
yeah, so we'll meet Monday
Yeah.
and then.
You can discuss it
the
Monday
next-
and bring
And
it back
discuss it on
to,
Monday,
fiscal
and
court
then
on
by
the
the next board
23rd.
meeting, we'll have it all set.
Everything else as far as
Basically,
the,
the 19th deadline doesn't apply to the carports.
it does
for
not
now.
apply to the carports, just the dog houses and the few dog bowls and the kennels.
The kennels
And the
and
wash station.
the wash station.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we'll
wash
come and get
station.
that, we'll come and get that smaller stuff this coming week. And then, the rest of the stuff will be ready to have it all go by the 19th.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's,
12 by 16.
There's two 12 by 16s and like a 12 by, or like a 16 by 20 and then a little smaller one. We're
And then a
just gonna-
smaller one.
We'll go out there and measure so we can.
you
do
would be
it.
happy with that and then we could hopefully start some healing.
I mean, just a quick look on the website.
Yeah, I mean,
12 by
it's
dog.
not up to me, it's up to the board.
Right.
But yeah, I'm certainly happy to bring all of that to the board and we can make that discussion and make that assessment. And yeah, if we didn't have to take down the carports and take them out and put them all back up again,
That would be huge.
it'd be great. We've got more than enough on our plate rather than to do all that too, so. All right,
Good
Thank
deal.
you.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
So I guess on the 19th, there will be, according to what the decision is on Monday,
Yes.
with you.
No,
So the
all
19th
of the outdoor kennels and dog igloos and all of the outdoor things will all be
Picked up.
replaced and picked up and be
But
gone.
the overhead parts
We're gonna make.
The
it-
kennel.
going to
Court.
get assessed through you guys
Yep,
for fair
for
replacement.
fair market value. Yep,
I'm all for that.
sounds good. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for citizens participation?
Oh, that's great.
Good.
Everybody else on?
Just take a few minutes of your time, tell you we appreciate the ones that was able to attend the meeting last Tuesday night for the presentation. Airport Board we will meet tonight. We do. We have a big agenda too. So, we just kind of take from here. I've got to meet with Mayor Stratton here in just a little bit to see the city's
On board.
feelings on it. So, we can have a pretty good discussion tonight about how we feel like we need to move on, this proposal that was presented for the airport.
Those guys were impressive. They've got a lot to offer, and I'm going to say that out loud. something.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Georgia, I don't think you were standing there, a couple of things that came to mind. I agree with Ms. Crawford. They have a lot to offer. There's a lot there, but likewise, so do we. We have a phenomenal airport. We have an unbelievable 4,500 strip of asphalt out there. I've always said that's the most important mile of asphalt in the entire county. And, you know, they are almost getting exclusivity to that. And I don't think, you know, they're making a huge investment, you know, $2 to $3 million. We've heard a couple of different numbers. The 40 and 50 year seems like a long time to me. I would encourage two things that, you know, because there's no revenue. That revenue that's presented is nothing, okay? It's, you know, depending on how you crack that egg, because there's 6 phases, and when those phases happen and when they complete, I mean, if they only do phase 1 and 2, you're talking about $6,000 to $8,000 a year in revenue, okay? But they are doing a $2 million investment that at the end of the term becomes airport property, okay? It becomes county property. So I do want to keep that in consideration, but, you know, at the same time, I mean, it's not a lot of money, and I don't want to make sure we don't give away the farm because we're excited that somebody's going to put in a strip mall out there. And so, you know, I'd just cautiously proceed with that. I'm all for it. I mean, I brought my plane in case anybody wants to look at it, review it, and, you know, I think it's a good deal, good opportunity. Maybe some more numbers presented on the employment and how many and what the pay is, and, you know, that's something this board can consider when looking at that. So I would be encouraging the board to consider more revenue sharing or less time. I'd bring that 40 years down to 25, 30, you know, one of the two. You know, y'all know more about airports than I ever thought about, but we know everything south of us in a reasonable vicinity is full, the traffic's crazy, you know, everybody's coming this way. And, it's been a long time coming.
Right.
And I understand that, but that was probably, I told Tyler when I called him the next day, he asked if I could call him and give him a sundown. In 18 years of sitting on that court, that was the best presentation ever given, either public or private, in my 18-year history. I mean, they did a really
Well,
good
they did.
job.
Absolutely
I mean,
did.
Really good job. And so it's definitely, these guys know what they're talking about. But I'm not excited about the revenue opportunity whatsoever. So anyhow, but y'all.
Well, that needed to be said.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm telling you, I've always said that's the most important mile of asphalt in all of Logan.
See, I was looking at opportunity, future opportunity, more than actual revenue. And when I meant opportunity, I'm looking at business opportunity because of the expansion. More than revenue, maybe specifically, immediately to us. But every option's got to be out there.
It's hard to measure what the value of that opportunity is.
Yeah, the economic impact, you gotta get somebody a whole lot smarter than me that could tell you what that economic impact's gonna be by, you know, if they do phase 1 in just this business, and if they do phase 2, you know, adding that next business, and, you know, 3 through 6, you know.
Well, both those guys plan to be a part of it.
Well,
keep in mind-
40 years, I mean, I'm 53, okay? In 40 years, and those guys were older than me, they're not gonna be the ones running that. Everybody needs to realize that.
They make that pretty clear. They
Yeah.
made that clear to us.
They did. They
We
were
told them the
honest
same
about it.
thing. We don't know how many of us will be around. Be nice if we could, but,
They're business people,
you know.
they might
JD, you
sell
might
this
still be here, but
I'm older than you.
Well, I agree with what Thomas is saying. but I mean, you know, you think about,
It was a beautiful presentation.
you think
Everybody
about
not seen
the extra, I mean, the extra traffic is gonna be on your runway and stuff like that. I mean, you have to maintain that. I mean, the airport board has to maintain that. So, you know, you're gonna have the extra, you know, and like you said, they're gonna pretty much have exclusive rights to use that, so.
There's a lot of things they're considering. I know y'all will do that at the board, and I owe y'all an email. Cass asked if I would email her my thoughts, and just got busy yesterday and didn't do it. But I plan
Well,
on-
just one of the quick things is, I mean, you know, sure, we can put it out in the presentation, but we try to tell them too, with their experience and stuff, they know dealing with the FAA isn't that skip, drop, and a hump, you know, jump or whatever to get things done. And, you know, we told them all along, we're the ones that have to deal with that, not as much as you do. You have to comply to them. We're the ones that have to deal with them to get them done.
And these guys are wanting to push dirt next month, you know, I mean, these guys are.
Well, they want to get
ready
started.
go.
Yeah, I mean, they're very much ready to move. And that's why we tried to get the input from the court, the city, you know, that what we decide, that, you know, we feel like this is the best interest of all parties involved.
I don't see that it's a whole lot different than that park we're getting ready to do. And that's my opinion.
When are they turning dirt on the other project?
They'd be the same way now. That's part of the board meeting tonight. We meet with Scott Murphy tomorrow to start seeing about moving dirt. Of course, I know right now we can't because of the weather, but their anticipation is, once after we meet tomorrow, they're ready to go.
Great.
Well,
So-
I think it's a great opportunity. I don't want to think, but we still have to do our due diligence, and, you know, we're fixing to tie that up per their request, you know, 40 and maybe even 50 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a long time to be envisioning what could possibly happen. That just takes a lot of thinking.
I have.
Yeah. So anyway, appreciate your time. We'll keep you.
George,
Yes.
we appreciate your work with the board and appreciate your constant
Thank you.
information with us.
We appreciate y'all, and like I said, we'll try to keep you very much updated on the progress as we move on the
What about y'all's
building
meeting today?
tonight, 5:30. And then, you know, as we progress on this other. Thank you, George. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I don't think I see anybody else as far as citizens. But if so, let's move on. Old business, we have none to discuss. So let's move on to new business, as we're going to hold the hearing for the HGEA and the CRA. Is there anyone here that would like to speak towards that? Look through the thousands upon thousands gathered around, and I don't see anyone. So no one. We're going to move on to discuss, number 2, which is discuss bidding bank services. Huh?
Don't you have to vote on that? Yes.
I'm sorry.
Just had
Yes.
me.
Sorry. I'm trying to get everybody to lunch today. Thomas, I've got your credit card. Yeah. Do I have any, do we need to do a separate?
So what exactly is the motion?
They're not separate, are they? LGA, CRA?
No,
I
it's
didn't, I
the
thought.
LGEA, CRA here.
Yeah.
Was held without.
So it's just one motion.
I make a motion that we have that hearing, and everybody that's here to voice any questions or concerns.
Second.
What did you
You
just
gotta give a
second?
full report on that after court. WBKO is gonna be here to interview you.
What did you second there, Chris?
We just had a hearing.
We just questioned whether we had the hearing.
An acknowledgement or?
Acknowledgement that we had, the hearing. I have a motion, a second. If no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Everybody's scared to ask a question.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Now we can move on to number 2. Number 2 is discuss discuss bidding the bank, that's a mouthful. Discuss bidding banking services for fiscal year 24-25. We looked at the contract, and the contract says we can extend the current contract for 1 year. So Amanda and I discussed it. Pardon?
Our bank.
Independent.
First Southern has the majority.
Yeah,
We
sorry.
have 19 accounts at First Southern and 1 at Independent.
I was gonna say, I thought we had one of them. So
Yes.
it's 19 and 1. Okay.
Yes.
Make a motion that we extend the existing services 1 year as per contract allowed.
I'll second that. Oh.
Got a motion and a second. Thank you. If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Okay. Next up is open bid for equipment for Logan Circuit, the clerk's office. This was the bid. We're going to go ahead and open the bid, but Stacy and I have had a discussion, decided if it's okay with everyone, we're going to open it, and we'll give Stacy time to evaluate and bring it back next meeting with her evaluation. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
And it's a bid for what?
The,
Guts.
sorry, I've got to read the exact wording.
Oh, I think that's
Yes.
very
With service
nice.
agreement, I'm sorry.
Her equipment purchase.
Good Lord.
We just had one bid for this, and it's through
The next one's also
software
for the clerk's
management.
office.
Yeah, that's the guts deal.
There, that's what you were talking about. I got off my notes here.
Yeah, it's just one copy. Sorry.
Wasn't that what you were talking about there, Chris?
Yeah, just one.
Was it four?
Here. As I said, if it's okay, I'd like to get a motion to table this till next meeting.
I'll make that motion to be tabled till the next meeting.
Second.
You guys can feel free to pass it around as needed to look at it. I have a motion on the floor and a second to table this till next meeting. If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Also, would like to get a copy to Scott, and we can go over it too.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Scott, when's Windows 10 end of life?
He didn't hear you.
What'd you say?
10 end of life. Do what? Windows 10 end of life, do you remember? Anyway. Okay, anyway, you get a copy and you can see the Windows
Yeah,
10 on it.
we'll just, I'll have Scott look over it. I'll get with him. He and I'll look over it and make sure everything's good. Next up is approve a service agreement between GUTS, or Government Utility Technology Services, and the Logan County Clerk's Office. That should be in your paperwork. Is there any changes on this agreement, Stacy?
I do know that he had mentioned something about the contract from last year, and so I had told him, I said, if it does not say that any arbitration would take place in Kentucky, I can go ahead and tell you we will not be voting for it. So then they sent this one. He never even sent me the other one.
When we got into all that last year.
Yes, sir.
I copied Tom Crawford, who
Yes.
runs the Revenue Cabinet, kind of connects Stacy and Steve and I. And they emailed back and said, we're going to make sure that's placed in all of the state contracts. So
some good came from our being a pain in the butt.
Yes, it did, thank you for that, because the contract that I have does say.
Yes.
I think it says any county in Kentucky, but at least it does say Kentucky, not
yeah.
Indiana or Illinois.
It's the same contracts they already approved for you, right?
Yeah, we did ours, he said he was just mirroring all of ours.
Yeah.
The same as like the 60 other counties with the same system.
He had sent me a text, and he said, I believe the contract I sent you last year is what you need, and so I corrected him, and I said, I'd go ahead and tell you now, it ain't gonna work if it's the one you sent last year, because they let it slide last year, but they will not let that slide this year, so,
Make a
thank you for
motion
that.
To approve service agreement between Government Utilities Technology Services and Logan County Clerk's Office.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Number 5, open bids for widening of Thompson School Road Bridge. We received 2 bids, one from Galicia, sorry, I said, added a letter in there, and the other one from Scott Murphy.
I'd never heard of them before.
I'll get the other one.
They've done at least 4 projects, so they can't be done.
What's the bid for Galicia?
I'm trying to find it. Galusha total was $143,996.
960.
It's $143,996.
All right, and our second bid is from Scott Murphy. Everything seems to be here as, their bid is $95,365.
363.
363, sorry.
363.
Now, this will be all contingent on making sure that we get the contract signed through the state. So when we make the motion on this, if we make a motion on this today, we need to make it contingent on the state funding the 80/20 bridge money on this. And this would be a,
What's the max on that 80/20? Is it 100?
800, yeah.
So,
Make a motion contingent on state approval for the low bid.
Rock and roll, Tyler.
It's
Half of it's his, half of it's mine.
which side do you get?
Well, that did.
I got the north side.
You decided it's got the 80%.
Well, my side's bigger than his already.
But he's paying for it. How did you do that? That's kind of amazing.
he's smoking crack.
Do I have a recommendation or a motion?
You're quite a negotiator. You want your bridge fixed, you fix most of it.
I make a motion to accept Scott Murphy's bid for $95,363 on widening the Thompson School Road Bridge contingent on state funding of the 80/20 grant.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Thank you. Next up is what we've all been waiting for, opening annual bids for fiscal year 24-25, and we have a bunch up here, so grab your popcorn and hang on. Let's just start with do you have an order you want to go in, Olivia?
Don't matter to me.
Okay, I think we have everything laid out here. So we'll just start with the detention center HVAC system. I have 2 bids, one from Southern Air, the other from PSK.
The bid?
No,
No, 20%, $93,000, and half of 20%, 22 of it.
10%
That's
of
19. That's like 19, you said 95.
HVAC, detention center HVAC.
$19,000.
Okay, I have one from PSK for $12,500, and one from Southern Air Solutions for $16,650.
It's 18,672. Divided by 2, it's 90, well, 9,300. 93, 9,400.
What'd you say? So the air was
16,650.
16.
Has everyone had a chance to look?
Thomas and Howard took too long.
We can read.
All I gotta say is that number.
We went to South.
Y'all went to different schools together?
I did too.
I was homeschooled for a little bit.
No, we blame you back.
It's Teddy's fault.
Yeah, Teddy.
It's probably Josh's fault. He was distracted.
Teddy said, just go out there and frame that house. Don't worry about A's, B's, and C's.
That was recess and building decks and drives.
The recess.
Daddy, then you're right.
Teaching him how to use these things.
All right, has everyone had a chance to look over?
Not really, but go on.
Sorry.
Keep going.
12.5, it's 12.5 PSK, and then Southern Air was 16,650.
Make a motion to accept the bid for PSK for the annual maintenance contract for the detention center, total of $12,500 per year.
Is that firm? Is that the one that's over here on 7th Street?
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say it.
Yeah, it was very loud.
You shook your head. I can't hear that. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up is our aggregate bid. We've received one, and that was from Heidenberg Materials.
I don't know if y'all will remember.
Can't spell that. Heidelberg.
The rejection.
The rejection. If you'll, I don't know if they remember from last
Of course, this is,
Oh, no.
That's on
We usually have it.
here you go.
Well, we not have.
There's 9 copies, or several copies.
Fuel and gravel.
fuel, tile, tires.
I remember something, I can't say something.
We reject all bids and allow the judge.
The decision.
Was this the only bid for this?
Yes, yes, that was the only bid we received for those.
I make a motion to accept Heidelberg Materials bid as presented for the stone.
second.
I have a motion to say, and for those that don't understand, there's several different grades of rock. It could take us an hour to read all those figures over, so, if no further discussion, roll call, please.
Does everybody keep
Davenport.
it?
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
No, this
Yes.
stone is full.
Baker.
Yes.
Road department.
For the road, okay. Yeah, that's all the different grades they use. All right, that's
Next up is our bid for annual asphalt or hot mix. Only received one bid, and that was from Scotty's Contracting.
I've never understood the asphalt bid because it fluctuates throughout the year.
It's really not, yeah. It's only as good as the next 30 days.
Is there enough copies in there? Oh, here, I got a bunch of them.
Drank all every last drop.
That'd have been a lawsuit right there. Davenport roofing.
Davenport roofing.
I make a motion to approve Scotty Stone Contracting asphalt bid as presented. And I guess I can say that out loud.
What's that?
Yeah, you
I'll
can.
make a motion to approve their bid as presented for asphalt surface for $95.75 a ton, asphalt base, $89.95 a ton, asphalt patching, $126.50 a ton, and then the hot mix picked up at the plant would be $83.96 a ton for surface and $80.96 a ton for base.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Stand up.
I
Yes.
think it's only got one.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up is for the janitorial bid for the county. This is from Superior One Source, is the only one that bid this.
Janitorial.
Yes, janitorial supplies.
They swapped.
That's who that is.
Oh,
I think they're still
That's what I-
that's what
I'm just gonna, there you go, sir.
For some reason, I get my price from what AP just told me, it was like $94 or something for surface.
Yeah, I think currently it's in the 90s. But I had surface last year going for 79.
This is for all departments, correct?
Yes.
anybody involved, you really, truly using. Make a motion to accept Superior
One Source.
One Source for janitorial supplies as presented, as bid.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. No further discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Been noticing on the bill list, y'all see y'all been using anyway, isn't it? Is that who y'all been using?
Yeah, we approved them.
Yeah, that's who
Yeah, we
we.
approved them all.
Next up is our metal culvert bid, and I think I have three. They're all labeled different, so.
Metal curb, culverts.
Culvert, pipe, that thing that goes under a driveway.
Don't even pass them.
Nobody caught that, that was fine.
Jason said just keep them up there.
What's the basis for Jake?
First up is from
One company's cheaper on plastic.
Hagen and
one company's
Stowe.
Cheaper on metal, one company's cheaper on porcelain, one company's cheaper on 16.
Here you go.
So we just.
There you go, Tom.
Allow the judge and the department head to make decision on.
This is the same thing as a while ago. Okay, that's, I was reading it. Because they vary.
They vary so
I guess unless the unlikelihood that one particular company is cheaper on all of them.
most of the time, no.
Is there enough there?
Company's cheaper, but they're like $5 or
That's
$6.
funny. I don't know. Jason said
So
keep
this is
it.
confidential. This is who we use 90% of the time.
The other one, the next one is from Metal Culverts, Inc.
One of them at St. Louis or something, they are cheaper, but you gotta go get them or have them for a good year. $150 a foot on the 16.
There's one short, I think I gave you two.
Wow.
There's two there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeff was 2 0.
The next one is from,
Well, some of them,
Yeah, they're all gonna vary.
the rest of this.
See, like this,
There we go.
there's a
Fort
couple
line.
cheaper and a couple higher.
I saw that, got this one,
What is
54.
corrugated steel pipe arch, corrugated steel circular pipe? What's a pipe arch? What's that?
Some
Is
of
that just
them
a
are-
half?
No, some
Or
tiles are
elliptical?
like that.
Elliptical.
Some are like that.
Okay. I just never heard it called.
Goodness, this
Arch.
was 195, that was 315, sorry.
Fort line coming in.
Just look at it real quick, Jason, see if there's
There
anybody
is.
at all in part of the low bid. Unless one company has the low bid on every side.
But you can't do that because this guy's in Missouri, so you gotta go get it afraid. That's always the holdup.
Okay, so compare Fortnite to the other, not that one, the other.
Okay.
Four line?
So Tompkinsville is cheaper
Yes.
On every single line item?
on that,
Most of the
on
ones
that
I
page.
checked.
Yeah, I saw it on the first page, yes, I noticed. I did notice that.
I didn't know.
You need, Hagen and Stone was. Oh,
No,
they were,
42
Hagen and Stone
inch.
was cheaper than the metal culvert.
This one's
Yeah, but you
lower.
got to figure freight on the guy from Missouri.
Otherwise, they're cheaper
Doesn't
on everything but
include
this
freight,
one
what
right
Jason
here.
said.
That one's not cheaper.
Gotcha.
Now, I didn't read that, I'm just telling you what Jason said, and we said a while ago, we didn't know if we could read.
Hagen and Stone's cheaper on everything besides like
One or two right here.
one or two
Mhm.
things. And that's connected back there.
Tompkinsville.
Judge, I make a motion that we reject all bids and let you and the county road department supervisor Pee Wee negotiate the best price. Some tiles are cheaper from one company, and other tiles are cheaper from other companies. So working off the bid price, let them negotiate the best price.
I'll give a copy of these to Pee Wee and we'll go from there.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion?
I always
If not-
mess that up every time. Is that how you want it, Joe?
Yes.
What I heard you saying sounded like the last time we were told that's the way to do it until they changed their mind again.
It's coming. It's coming. If you get a different auditor, it's coming.
All right, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Let's go on and move towards the fuel bid. We've got one from Max Arnold and one from Southern States. Here you go, sir.
What do I do with it?
Y'all can open them, they're all the same, they just put them in separate envelopes.
Oh, yeah, everybody gets their own envelope on this.
Yeah, you get the joy of trying to get those out of there.
I'm over here drinking from cardboard straws and I'm passing out manila envelopes so I could try to kill them.
Stealing and turtle.
I'd like to have all these envelopes and I don't even know what they're using.
Now, this one category is Eric's.
And this one's from Max Arnold, so you can pass that out however you choose.
Second, boy.
Tyler, take this spot. He's wearing out. He's wearing down.
He's still on jet lag.
Y'all couldn't walk where I went. There you go, Mr. Williams.
Probably some truth to that. All you're running.
Went off the grind.
One is one connected thing. Every
Is that the
single
only
one
two?
is more expensive.
That's the only two for
The
fuel.
rest of them are almost the same, but every
Judge, I
single
make a
one.
motion that we reject the fuel bills and allow you and the other departments that purchase fuel to buy the place that is cheapest and makes sense for the locale in which you're currently at.
Second.
I Have a motion and a second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
And give your envelopes to Jason.
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Scrolling on Instagram over
Bolden,
here.
Yes. Some on
Baker.
Yes. Next up is our tire bid. We have two, one from Best One Fleet and one from Trimbles.
Bailey Blake.
The one you're receiving now is from Trimble.
Decision on the gas. I missed that.
Okay, does that have Trimble's name on that one?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because best one did not. This is Best One's passenger tire, but they did put their name on it, so you may want to etch that on the top of that
This is
one.
best one, doesn't say
So
it,
they
but it
need to
is.
have the option. Yep. So we checked.
Somebody like that on there.
That's best one.
That's for the sheriff. I'm sorry, that's passenger tire for the sheriff.
Did they send you road apology?
Yeah. Yeah, that's for passenger tire sheriff.
Where's this best one located?
I think they're Bowling Green, yes.
This is the only two we've heard.
No, I'm working on it. They split it out by page, so,
That's still best one.
yeah, you might want to put Best One on top of that page.
And write that on there for Jason. He can't.
Everything on mine's upside down.
How do you know?
There you go, sir.
They turned down the antique car.
Well, it's either that or you can drive it on.
Has one of the terminals back.
Why do I have two of these?
Because best one did that by department, so you're gonna have three for,
It just looks like this is exactly the same.
it is, but like one of them's for the sheriff's department, and one of them is supposed to be for road, and, I don't know why they did that price.
Okay.
Your time to shine, Tyler.
All right. All right, thank you.
Make a motion to reject all bids for the tires and allow the judge and the department heads to decide based on individual items purchased, cheapest price and locality.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I have a motion and a second. Yes, sir. With no further discussion on that, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 7. You know, over the past few days, I was looking at the minutes from the last previous special courts and decided we don't have enough old business. So I'm going to ask you to table number 7 until we can look at it just a little bit better and try to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. I haven't spoke with Joe about this, but this is discuss the draft contract regarding road department employees acquiring CDLs. We just have some wording we want to try to get corrected before we do these contracts with the CDL drivers. So if I got a motion to table that.
I'll make a motion to table number 7 to a future meeting.
Second.
I have a second, motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Next up is number 8, acknowledge North Logan County's Conservation District's 24-25 budget and tax rate, and from my understanding, we need those separate.
Motion to acknowledge the budget for North Logan
Second.
Conservation District.
I have a motion to acknowledge the budget. And no discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Now I need one for the tax rate.
Motion to acknowledge the North Logan, tax rate.
if y'all are looking for it.
Yeah, it's not.
Roll past South Logan, their tax rates are together in a set of minutes.
Say it again.
I was, on the iPads,
Oh,
it's 12.2 is where their tax rates are, north and south.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. And when we did, to acknowledge the South Logan County Conservation District's 24-25 fiscal year budget and tax rate, the same way. I need them split.
So moved on acknowledging the South Logan budget.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Now the tax rate.
Acknowledge the tax rate, which stays the same for the South Logan Conservation District.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up, item number 10, acknowledge Mud River Watershed Conservation District 24-25 fiscal year budget and tax rate.
Mud River watershed, it's up in your area, isn't it, near Jason's?
Yeah.
Make a motion to acknowledge the Mud River Watershed Conservation's budget.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second from Tyler.
These guys have an ongoing thing. I don't always care.
If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Keep him straight.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Try my
Yes.
best.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. I need a motion to accept the Mud River Watershed Conservation District's tax rate.
Make a motion to acknowledge the Mud River tax rate, which stays the same, 24-25.
We're offline. That goes you to.
I have a motion and a second. Tyler was a second. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 11, acknowledge the Logan County Extension Offices, or Extension's 24-25 fiscal year budget.
Motion to acknowledge Logan County Extension's 24-25 fiscal year budget.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I guess, I don't know if anybody can answer this since Leanne's gone, but, I mean, does part of their budget, I guess, allocate towards capital projects, or, I mean, does that follow through then? Capital projects, like the arena and?
Right here on the
Yeah.
first page,
First page?
right there.
Yep.
So carryovers, reserves for capital and emergency operations. So they had, the improvement fund had 275,000. Capital equipment fund had 100, emergency operation reserve at 390. And anticipated carryover reserve on the hand is 310. that what you were at?
Yeah, I guess, is
I'm
there
assuming so.
expenditure, I guess, for capital projects in the site, or is that just?
Sure it
is
is.
that just-
They're putting money in.
It has to be, if they got the
I was
revenue
just-
in there, they gotta have the expense, let's see. Give me a second.
I didn't know if anything was planned beyond, any other projects beyond the arena.
Well, it may not be because they're, let's see, hold on.
Yeah, capital improvement.
Right there on page 6,
Yeah.
you see the expenditure, surely, you know, like those,
150, oh, that's it, I guess.
right there where it says capital outlay, 62,100.
I guess that's a debt.
Yeah,
So,
they're gonna borrow money and they're gonna take, everybody has their money and pay towards the project.
That's all I had, I was just curious.
We had a motion.
Yeah, I was just making sure there was no, I'm sorry, we straight. If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Baker.
Yes. Next up is approval of annual contribution of $1,500 to the Barron River Area Child Advocacy Center.
So moved.
Ooh, second.
Have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Baker.
Yes. Number 13, approve the agreement between Logan County Fiscal Court and Mission Critical Partners for the reason of, for the in-person radio assessment. This was the contract for basically the assessment of the radio system that you guys approved a couple of meetings ago. This is just the contract that come through saying you guys approved to do the in-person study, to do the evaluation of the radio towers, and this is just the contract, just for me to sign the contract.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes.
Baker.
Yes. Before we move on, we received a bid from HMC that came in late. I just want to acknowledge that we received it. We will not open it.
For, which one?
HMC.
For
HMC.
Oh, you don't know.
HMC. I don't know. So we're just going to have to acknowledge that. So,
They do work in the jail. They might be HVAC.
yeah, we can't accept
We
it.
advertise that, they have to be here.
Had to be here at 9 o'clock. It said it
By
plainly.
9 o'clock.
Next on is, we have no reason to move on to executive session, but now we have post-agenda. If anybody has anything they want to bring up in post-agenda, now's the
Well,
time.
I had two things, and I
Yes,
can
ma'am.
wait till after we adjourn, and I can talk privately, or I can
No, ma'am, no, ma'am, that, we can't do that.
The group, it would need to be.
Has to be an open
You
meeting.
don't
So
have
if
to,
you wanna
you
talk
can only
about
talk to one
ordinance,
person.
You talking about talking to the judge about something?
No, I wanted to talk to y'all.
Oh,
Yeah, we-
So,
Go ahead.
no?
Yeah.
You can discuss it, but it's
This
going to
will
open
take
record.
5 minutes,
Okay,
okay?
yes, ma'am.
The first thing, we have builders up in my section that are putting houses in, connecting to the county road.
ma'am.
They are obliterating the ditches. Pee Wee had to call me and say, I can't do your flex blacktop because this guy, the ditches are gone. So we got the builder to meet us yesterday. Pee Wee and I met with him. He was very cooperative. He's gonna have to blast out a couple driveways, concrete driveways, to get those drainage ditches repaired. And I told the builder, Pee Wee should not have to do a bit of that because the ditch was there and it's gonna have to all be corrected. But surely other people in this county have had the same issue. I sent to each of you a proposal for an ordinance. I contacted Simpson, Warren, and the State Road Department, who all require road permits to go onto their county roads. I would like that to be at least considered before the next time so that we can make a proposal and for Joe to assess it as to what his input would be, that would be a yay or nay, because I sent it to him too. Because I don't want to face this again. Pee-wee has to go in and do some work.
Right.
We've got this, and it's happened more than once.
Yeah.
Do we have a bond requirement for something?
That is utilities.
Or just utilities?
Utilities
All
only.
utilities are required.
Yes, and I'm in 100% agreement with you. What we're going to do is Joe and I are going to sit down and look at that and go over it, and
We
then.
tried to
Right.
use what the other counties were using.
I guess my concern is us having at present the specialty within the county to do it, because it's one thing to have it, but it's another thing to be able to enforce it, and I'm also curious, I think it's a good idea, the first
Yeah.
one at least. The second one has some issues, but we'll start with the first one. But I would ask Thomas, I know, would this typically be something that would also be wrapped up in that building code stuff? And I think that would be the
Contractor
place.
licensing and building code, absolutely.
That's where I would prefer it to be, because at least us getting a plan, that would be
Easier to
wrapped up
enforce.
in that, and we would have a structure for how to pay for
Into
that.
the builder licensing versus
Right.
attack it from Rose
With, like,
Garden.
I guess having an overall plan versus just attacking an issue.
Well, that's what I thought the permit would do, but if you think it would be
Well, I mean,
better,
it's a bigger issue than just that.
Okay.
You're dealing with just the roads, but we also got an issue that we've been talking about dealing with for 2 years, on up the driveway with the building of the house and having that sort of stuff, having a process for that.
Okay.
I'm with you, but I would also say, like, it sounds like on this one, like, we do have rights, they're just not as easily enforced as what you're talking about.
Yes.
If the builder is making it right, the problem is being fixed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can stay on your problem and work towards an overall goal. So we could either go at it with just looking at this ordinance or refer that to the building planning.
I think definitely we gotta go do something, what you're talking about, in that direction. We've gotta do something because, you know, numerous times have someone had issues on their road and they said, well, the water's coming all over on my property, blah, 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 well, because my neighbor don't have a tile. You know, but that, you know, what happened years ago, but I mean, moving forward, you know.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you because,
We do need to do it.
because I mean.
well, I'm sure it's not just me.
And the, well, no, and the rule of thumb is, and now we have to say, well, we can't, the county can't pay for the tile, you had to buy the tile the first time. And so, you know, I think definitely we're following that.
I like the idea of the ordinance. I'm 100% behind it. The problem I'm having is that the language says it has to come through the road barn, which is great, but
Well, it doesn't have
we're
to.
totally understaffed as it is, and it's hard for me to send a guy out there, and we're understaffed as it is. And
But I think if anything, it can maybe prod and push our contractor licensing thing that we need. And
Absolutely.
we've been talking about for years.
Well,
Absolutely.
if that will alleviate the problem, then that will alleviate the problem.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't trying to add more to Cindy.
No,
which is
no, no.
Basically what that was gonna do, according to what you just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, fine with me, I just
Absolutely.
wanted to do something to avoid this again.
Yeah.
And you
Because there's
did
gonna be a
a
lot of,
good job
Yeah.
writing that, you put me out of business.
well, I wasn't trying to do that. And I know my legalese wasn't up to yours. But my other thing
Yes, ma'am.
is, I'm getting killed on the county park. You all knew I would, because if you look at where it's gonna go, except for a few of Jason's, my people are the ones with the furthest away. And if you do concentric circles for where it's being built, that's a math term, every so many miles out, you'll have less usage of that facility. That's a business plan, as you are further out. So I look at the 16.4 million that we have now been awarded through Jason Petrie, which I couldn't be.
Well, that number's wrong. That's not $16 million.
$3 million.
It's not $16 million. Let me just go ahead and put
County as
that.
a whole.
No, it's the Logan County as a
But that
whole.
was for.
Oh, right.
It's for all kinds of projects.
Just the park was 3 million.
And the park was 3
Yes.
million.
Yes.
No, that's, I was going by what the paper said. And I did talk to you about it.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
And, you know, I'm gonna represent Auburn here because we got a $5 million grant for our wastewater, and we are now facing a $6.1+ million loan for our wastewater.
Right, but the fiscal court had nothing to do with that money. We had nothing to do with signing that bond. We had nothing to do with the money that Jason is sending in here. It's, people need to understand, and I apologize, But that money it was money that was given us. We had nothing to do with that money. We had nothing to do with the money that Auburn did for sewer. And Mike Hughes and I sat down and talked for about an hour the other day over this exact subject.
Yes.
And he understands that.
You told me you didn't. Well, okay.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
only problem is, I voted for that park, and I told every person, a county seat is a county seat for a reason,
Yes, ma'am.
because that's where the cultural eye point is.
Absolutely.
And I understand that, and that's what I tell everyone. But it would be really nice if, right now, Auburn has ballparks that were built in the 60s. Their lighting is obsolete.
Yes, ma'am.
Their concession stand is barely usable. It would be wonderful if there could be money found. They are now seeking a $250,000 grant, but it's a matching grant. So we have to have $250,000. And I don't know where, the money can be pulled out. It probably can't. But to represent my district, I need to tell you, that's where most of my people are gonna go. Or they're gonna drive north or east and go to the brand-new park in Warren County. It's gonna be right along the Barren River, which is wonderful, but it'd be nice to have a bone thrown so that Auburn feels like they're getting something.
Well, this money was just announced, just a little while ago, not too long ago. The money was announced, the $3 million were announced.
This weekend.
Right. We haven't set aside anything. We haven't said that, and I'm sorry, but you and I have had this discussion. You know that, well, I told you that money is not set aside for anything yet. We have to get together as a court and figure out where this money goes. That's what we have to do. It's not that the money is set aside. I understand.
Because I'm getting killed for voting for a park that these people say I'm not going to use. I say, well, I have to vote for the better of the county as a whole.
Everybody would be able to say that, no matter where you locate it. If the fact of the matter is we went through a public announced process and even solicited through real estate agents, through personal contacts for 6 months. It's not like we said, hey, we only want to look what's here in Russellville. We didn't do that. We publicly announced that, solicited that, called real estate people, asked them to go out on the hunt for us everywhere.
I've never thrown anybody under the bus on this process.
So
it's just the cost of it, and that it's, going to be just for the land, even though half of it, I'll give y'all credit.
Tell them to show up for our
half.
budget meetings. They think that's a cost. Wait till they see the budgets, for all these other line items. It's a lot of money. But I understand.
And I read that thing, the respondents that were sent 4,500 surveys randomly selected throughout the county, less than a tenth responded. And half of them didn't have children. So I'm thinking, well, a little more than half had children. I guess it was running. But I'm thinking, I hope that wasn't a quick criteria. The bottom line is, I voted for it. I take responsibility for it. When people call me, I said I'm doing the best I can. If it's decided that I'm not, then vote me out. But the bottom line is, it'd be nice for Auburn to get a bone. And I'm done. We can go home.
I think that was under 5 minutes. I got a question, Judge.
Yes, sir.
We need to go back to mission critical partnership. I scrolled and couldn't find the dollar amount.
It is in there.
And I finally found it.
$45,000.
It's $45,000.
And we agreed
That
on
is not
20.
what we agreed upon.
I thought we agreed on 20,000. It was like $10,000 to do a survey from not being here.
I make a motion to rescind. Who made that motion? Whoever made it.
Item number 13.
I make a motion to rescind item number 13 and not accept mission critical partnerships contract.
What was it supposed to be, Amanda?
The last minute said 30,000.
I thought it was 26.
I thought it was.
I had 26 in my head. I text Tyler, what was that number?
I have
He
the-
said 10. So
Well,
we
the
are
10,000
unclear.
was when they didn't come down here.
Yeah, it was.
It was 10 to 12 with them not coming here, but we said, no, we want them to.
We said,
boots
no,
on the
we'll
ground.
spend the 20-something for them to come here, or whatever it was.
26 is what I remember.
I have the
Oh, well, it's in our deal.
Right here. if you
Yeah, I'm
want.
working on it right now.
It's in the March 12th meeting.
How much was it?
I was thinking it was 30 and 45.
No. I never seen 45. It was
No,
just
you're
long
right,
ago.
it was 15
26.
in the scope of work.
I
If
put
you
a-
got it for 15, 30.
Is it 30?
Gold star for you, baby.
Well, I kept scrolling, y'all made that motion, I was like, I didn't even know the word mission critical, but words mean nothing to me. And I scrolled.
My suggestion would be if you all are comfortable with 30, that rescind what we voted on and say you would accept it at what had previously been voted on of 30, but not at 45. So if that were a typo, that we could move forward with signing the contract once
Yeah.
that's corrected.
Oh, okay, so here's where the confusion is. The wording is, it was a fixed fee of $15,000, including expenses. And then the option 2, which is added to that 15, was the 30. That's where the 45 came from.
Oh.
So,
I make a motion
But
to
if they only voted on
I done made
30.
that.
exactly,
with that-
right.
reject that.
Right.
Accepting of that bid.
There
Yeah,
was
and
a
I second
meeting
it.
of the mind when we-
And
Right.
Jason seconded it, so I just.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah. Okay, I have a motion to rescind and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Okay, so what we thought was gonna be 26 grand, boots on the ground, doing this estimate is
They're
for
now
30.
saying it's 45.
Well, but that's what that's what the contract says,
Right.
that he read from last time.
Well, that's the way it's worded. We only we only voted to do 30. So when they came back with a 45, that basically was the 45 that came on the current contract was that, with the base of 15 plus the option, which was the additional 30.
We thought it was either.
We thought it was the 15 or the 30,
but it's
it's 15 and the 30.
Or you can do the second option to add the 30 to it to make it 40.
I don't feel like it was presented to us that way.
Yeah, I want more time to look at it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying it's mission critical thought, maybe it's my own fault, I didn't study and read that.
Well, no,
I thought it was
That's
one.
not what you all voted on,
No,
so there's no
yeah.
problem in, going back.
And I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
30, and then if they say, no, it's more than that, then they just say, no, sorry, we can't do it for 30.
Yeah. So we have a motion on the table to rescind that contract of the agreement between the Logan County Fiscal Court and Mission Critical. It's motion is second. All in favor? I'm sorry. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes.
So I think, we could allow you to work with Mission Critical and maybe we could say, we accept the contract,
Right.
contingent upon it being 30,000.
Right. Let me actually reach out to them, and by next meeting, I'll have an answer for us on that. Is that okay?
Okay, as long as it doesn't hold up any kind of.
I guess you could always consider doing it without moving them down.
this
No, I
is
agree.
the start of expenditure of a boatload of money.
Exactly.
We need to get
We need to be right on that. I agree.
So if it took us 4 more months, so be it. They ain't no reason, man, no hurry.
Are y'all ready for motion for adjournment? Okay.
Okay, I need one more thing. One more thing is we need a motion to resubmit, I'm sorry. We need a motion to resubmit for the only thing that we did not receive, which happens to be the one that showed up late, for the plumbing, maintenance plumbing agreement for the jail, detention center.
I make a motion to
advertise for bids.
To advertise for bids for the plumbing maintenance for the jail, for the yearly plumbing maintenance contract for the jail.
Wait a second.
Yes, sir.
Before you do that. So that is for plumbing, it wasn't for one of the other things that we opened.
No, it has no, we've accepted those, we're not gonna
In other
do
words,
that.
we got no
That's the only-
responses on the ones, right?
Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but we can decide to accept a late turned in bid,
It's all in
correct? I mean, I wouldn't do it, I would re-advertise if it was.
Well, I guess what my question, since I was reading an email, are we talking about you didn't get any other bids?
There's
The
no
one
other-
bid that did show up, showed up late.
Well, here's what I would say is you could allow him to negotiate for the best he can find on the market. So that would mean he could open up that bid presumably and accept what they gave him, or give him a call and negotiate that same or better.
What we've done in the past, if there's been more than one bid turned in and somebody walked in late, we did not accept their bid.
Right.
If it was the only bid.
I think technically we would have to rebid it, but you don't have to necessarily do that if you just empower him to negotiate for those services, and he could accept that bid then if he wanted.
But we would need to open that bid now.
We could if you want.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, because
go ahead and look at
could
it.
be $100,000 for something that we don't.
Yeah, because I think we rebid it, we don't open it, gives,
Ain't nobody else gonna bid.
well, that's what I'm
If you
saying.
wanna Wait 2 weeks.
Can also
and
give them the power
then
to.
wait 2
No, I
more
don't
weeks.
think you have to rebid it if you want. I mean, there's nothing that says we can't open it, but if you want to open it and see if it's something you'd be entertained, you can say, nothing came in on time, but you're going to authorize him the authority to negotiate with them and accept by the terms.
So the judge will have all the authority
It's not
on
a
that?
it's not critical.
No, we have
Emergency or
to,
nothing, so-
we have to, what, July for that? So if it's okay with everyone, I would rather just rebid, re-advertise and bid versus doing this. Nothing against what's going on, I just would rather do that.
He's likely just to tell you to
Keep that bid.
keep that bid.
Exactly. Liable to.
And he can do that by letter. He can
Also,
send you a
can you
letter.
submit one that's twice as high, because then nobody else is gonna bid.
Yep.
Well, he-
That's true.
he ain't
Valid
watching
point.
this.
At this point, I'll fall in favor of the court.
That's funny.
Well, maybe the first phone call would be, you submitted your bid late. We plan to re-advertise.
Right.
You want to keep this bid intact, and, you kind of stamp it and date it, and we can show that is, matter of fact, you do it right now, it's right on there, the date, the time.
Right.
Right now, and then
That
you
may
come.
not be the plumbing bid, that may be a late bid for HVAC, I don't know.
That's true, because it just says HMC is all it says on the cover.
Okay.
Because they submitted the bid for both last year, so I don't know.
So it could have both in there.
What's that?
So it could have both in there.
It could.
Yeah.
We've taken
Okay,
action.
we don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think our bid,
I could call them, but I don't know what the issue was on getting it here late.
I'll make a motion to re-advertise for the services that we did not receive a bid for.
Jason already made that motion.
I already
You
made
wanna
that
second
motion, so
it?
you, I already.
Oh,
made
did you? I'm
that
sorry.
motion.
Seconded. Sorry. didn't hear you.
I understand, I understand exactly where everybody's coming from, but I just think it's better to rebid, and I
Well,
appreciate it.
we might know of a couple more vendors we can reach out to and ask, tell them,
It's true.
There's
That's
nothing wrong with
absolutely
doing
true.
Nothing wrong with doing that.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the floor. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport?
Yes.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Wilcutt?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Bolden?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Judge, I make a motion to conduct a road hearing for the addition of 331 feet on Clearview Road. This will extend that footage of road from 1,288 feet to 1,619 feet. And it also completes the platted roadway length of the subdivision.
Second. Okay, I have a motion and a second to conduct the hearing. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport?
Yes.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Wilcutt?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Bolden?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
One other, I don't know if this is a motion, but I guess it's a request for a legal opinion from Mr. Ross regarding the county ownership footage, whatnot, of AP Miller Road.
I mean, that's something that three of us are already in discussions on, so I don't know.
I just want to, I guess I just want to put that as, getting what your recommendation of action regarding that issue.
I have a recommendation of action on it because my personal opinion on it is that it does look like that is a road that would be ours, but proving that to the point of what is going to get us to the end if we were to be pushed in court. I can't guarantee that at this point just because of how long it has been on the road structure. I will state that the part of it that is in question actually has no county purpose. I would recommend that we take it off the road system because we're basically paving a road for the solar farm. I think the solar farm, my last discussions with them, they indicated they're not fighting us on the road, but I spoke to their attorney a couple of days ago, and they would ask us to take it off so that they could take up for it. I rode back there with Judge Chick, and it is, there is a discrepancy about how much of that is county between what we think and what they think, but I don't think there's any discrepancy that there's not a county purpose back there anymore. I would further say that if we were to try and add that section of the road at their request, I would have to legally tell you we can't because it wouldn't meet any county purposes. It looks like the purpose of that being a county road has long expired when houses went down, and basically all that was funding or recently would be farm access to it. And so since it's the only people that are going to be using it for the remainder of the next 40 years are the solar farm and they want it, I would say we hold a hearing to take it off the road map and move forward that way. That would be my legal opinion as to how to handle it.
What do you want to see happen to AP Miller Road?
Well, I mean, he's exactly right. It has no benefit to the county whatsoever. But it goes back to sort of what you've made the comment before about.
I'm going to tell you,
But
I'm a hard no on that.
But saying, I mean, if taking that stance, they have taken it.
Not yet, but it's in the process of that.
At least from accessibility standpoint, there's a fence crossing.
I mean, I guess my question is, do
They'd
you,
be taking the fence down. There's a sheriff out there telling them to cut the fence.
And I ain't a whole lot of attention about whether or not the panels are there too, but I don't.
Okay, less about the panels. They can secure their panels with their own fence.
I'm not a proponent of it. I just want to.
County road.
I want to clean it up.
We still had some setbacks.
Is there a turnaround back there?
there would still be room for a turnaround, I think could probably
To
be
be
made.
honest, most of the AP Miller Road doesn't need to be ours anyway, but that's just.
I mean, that's the
a
point
whole
of how
other
far
ball.
you want to have this fight and for what purpose, and it's probably going to cost you more money because, I mean, we may need to get more specialists on this. And again, we're funding a
Taxpayer
road.
paved it. That's a paved
Well,
road.
no,
it's not
this-
paved.
This section
It's
here is
gravel.
gravel.
It's gravel.
paved back so far.
So you're not talking about the paved section,
No.
you're just talking about the back.
The way back in.
Take it off the county.
That's not near as bad as I thought, because that's a long road to take.
No.
What are you talking, a couple hundred foot?
I think it's 300.
I think it's just barely over 300.
It's, a lot of the issue for me is the principle of the matter.
We'd be taking it off and it'd be going back to the owner of the land, which is not the solar farm, it's the people that are leasing it to the solar.
Correct.
It's just more of, they encroached.
I will
It's a
also,
learn after the fact kind of deal, so it's.
there will probably be other conflicts to have in the future where, I mean, that's just the reality of it, that, I'm not saying avoiding the conflict, but I just, ultimately, if we're gonna push forward and maybe spend county money to get the resources we need to prove what we need in court, why are we really doing that if we really don't need it in the end? And
I'm not arguing that, my point of bringing it up is we need to clean it up.
I don't agree.
But that footage, it goes into the calculation of road footages for all of us. I know it's a very insignificant number, but it doesn't need, if it's not gonna be ours,
yeah.
it doesn't need to be on the books, as far as I'm concerned. But it's a whole side effect that it bothers me, that.
So we never take one.
I'm like Chris, today, the sheriff would be out there telling them to take the fence down today. If they wanted 368 feet of taxpayers' road, then they need to go through the same process that any and everybody else do. Putting a darn fence across it does not set well with me to do the taxpayer. That's why.
And to his credit, though, there is some discrepancy about where that endpoint is.
Has the fence actually gone up? Because the last time I was there, it was just posts.
It may be.
So they haven't actually, they've been in conversations with us, and they have asked to take it off. hired a local attorney. She came and met with me and said, like, we're not wanting to fight with you all on this. We're willing to, say this is okay, but, can you take the road off? Because there's no purpose to it. We need to pay for this section of it.
And I just want to, like I said, clean it up.
I'm not voting to take a road.
I know you told me that.
Well, like I said, I
was
just really,
listening to
I would like to have, just your written recommendation on what.
There's
how
a
we should act.
liability reason, maybe I would consider that when a taxpayer pays for a road for 40, 50, 60 years, and then all of a sudden, for no good reason, we just turn it over to, I don't care if it's an individual farmer or
Well, anything
a corporation,
private,
it don't matter.
private entity.
To me,
So it's not.
it's an asset for us, it ain't costing us nothing, that we actually make revenue off of.
If we continue to maintain that road that goes back to nothing, we're maintaining that road for the benefit of the solar farm. I mean, that's the only people that are getting any benefit from that
But
road.
if you apply that to every road in Logan County, you take a bunch of them.
I mean, we
Okay,
ought to,
it's just all it is to it. You
Then
just
you
say, well,
just
that road don't
take
go
one
nothing
from
but a
there.
barn. That road don't go nothing, Jamie, how many of those you got?
Yeah. Oh, you
If
just
you
got
take
another
that
one from there.
stance and start applying it to every road, you're fixing to lose a boatload of it.
There's a
we don't
mile
have
of
to
road
take
out there
them
that
off, but why
benefits
would we keep a road that doesn't fit
nobody
the purpose
except
of a county
farmer-
road?
Farm access. I mean, that's all.
And I understand it, I mean, for whatever reason, Barry wanted that road paved, he got paved. I'd invite him on it, there was a need, he had it paved.
No, and that's not really the issue with me, it's just, to me, this has gotta be officially cleaned up by us. I feel like, we either fight about it or we remove it. That's the two choices, cause it's,
But what do we,
What are they doing? to state?
unless somebody ends up totally proving that our county thing truly did end short of that, But according to what our spreadsheet list of roads, and Pee Wee measuring it starting from Watermelon Road all the way back, there is a fence across the end point. Before the end point,
Before the end point.
Yes.
They need to move
But
it.
it's an insignificant footage, it's 300-400 feet, something like that. But, I just, like I said, I think we have to officially do something about
They
it.
have to be in agreement, or they wouldn't be asking us to remove it off the road system.
When I didn't know that they have asked for it.
I mean, we were gonna have a meeting about it. You were on those emails. I wasn't expecting this to be a fiscal court thing today,
Well,
but if you want an
I
opinion.
just wanted to get your opinion on it, because I didn't know if we were having a meeting
You
about
weren't
it or not.
you weren't at the last fiscal court meeting. I was actually planning to pull you aside today, but I mean, I thought I was making it clear in those emails. I know I made it clear to them that we will have a meeting when we're ready to do that, but, honestly, it sounds like if the court wouldn't vote for it anyway, but that is my recommendation, because the cost of going to court, possibly losing and what we'd actually be giving up. I mean, like if we pay for our own survey, which was what they based theirs off of, going that route, I mean, that's probably gonna be more money than what that road is worth. But, and again, I'm gonna go back to, I get not wanting to take a road off, but I honestly would have to flip that around and say, if there are a purpose for what a county road should be, why are we keeping it if it's not one, and the people who are interested don't want it to be one?
And I didn't say I was against taking it off.
I'm talking about where my position comes from.
I just
The
want that
fact
matter
we-
cleaned up.
We couldn't legally add it on now because it's so far from what the purpose of a county road is. Makes me wonder why we would keep paying money to gravel it.
I agree. I'm just bringing it up because that's the only thing about there that I'm bringing up is just the road.
Did you see that?
I know there's other stuff we can talk about, but
Did you see
that
that?
road footage thing needs to be cleaned up because it's not accessible to us now.
Yeah, I mean, we have been in the process of that, and I was planning to talk to you and Judge Baker after court today.
Farmers able to get through?
It doesn't.
It doesn't go to anybody's farm?
It goes to their farms, just under long-term lease to a corporation at the
Right.
moment.
Right, I just didn't know if they had to.
Solar farm.
Through there, you know.
You know, I mean, I could pull it up on the map, but there's probably down AP Miller Road, Chris, do you know, probably 5 landowners. We got Fay.
Probably the least, probably half a dozen.
If it never went to anything, why the county even have it on the road system?
Cemetery.
Come
like
to
that.
North Logan.
What about Dan?
Come to North Logan.
I think at one time there was a house back there.
Take a grader down there and scrape all the gravel off, put it in a dump truck, put it on
There's
the
a half
road,
dozen
and
people.
take 10 roads off.
Still own
I'll do it tomorrow if I could.
land up and down that road
It
and
went
whether
to a
you
tobacco barn for a while.
put
but
it
that's
on, put it
run
off,
out
it's still gonna
when
be
it
a
was
half
put
a
on.
dozen
There were
people.
two
This
houses.
last 300 feet doesn't do nothing but to the same one, though. That's.
I think it's same landowner owns that 300 foot, so.
I just think y'all need to do some more research and meet and do whatever, then we can make a decision.
Well, and
at
again,
some point.
that's really all I was wanting, I just wanted to request you to issue us an opinion. That's
I mean,
really, that's why I brought it up.
I have an opinion. But it was more between, me and you and the judge, because I put a lot of faith in what you want as the magistrate, so, but that's my opinion. I don't see the purpose of going forward with the expense of what a fight could be for a piece of road we probably don't even need, and again, wouldn't be able to take on now if we wanted to, if it wasn't.
Who's the landowner in the back?
Dan Kemp.
Is he the one that's at that very, very end?
It's very
He's on
bad.
one side of the road and Dawson's on the other.
That's the way he explained it to me.
And he said it didn't need to be a county road in
Yeah.
that meeting we had.
I agree, Joe. I honestly, I really only just, I don't want it just to be my decision. I just wanted to basically hear
I know, but-
what you felt like we should.
I don't mind to be the bad guy, but that is my opinion. I've thought about this a lot in the last 6 weeks, enough so to drag people out there. And then also, but also know that you're the one that would make that. And so trying to convince you to feel good with it, even if you need to throw me under the bus, that's my job. That's what lawyers are for.
I just, like I said, I just feel like we gotta get closure on that.
Yeah,
right.
The road
Agreed.
issue. Like I said,
Agreed.
I'm not gonna bring up any other stuff today, but just that, that needs to be cleaned up on our books. That's all I wanted to bring up.
Agreed.
I'll 100% support you taking it off.
No, I'm done.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
Thank you all.
Chris, come over and show me the footage, please.